Merry FICSMAS. How's everybody doing today? Hello world, huh? Is that the programming project you're working on? Isn't that the first project everybody does? Guessing we're here a bit early. Oh, not really. We're just a bit late. You know how that works. As usual. Oh. Okay, I'm getting my text window set up here. I told Robert I was ready, and I really wasn't, unfortunately.
Cold is stalking.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Okay. It's an emergency. The governor of Oregon panics after economics tells her that her policies are in trouble. No, that's not fully what it said. You know, extrapolating a little bit on why she's in trouble.
Clickbait. Wow.
No,
Did you hear the whole thing about Chevron leaving California?
Oh, yeah. They're closing down plants in California. They already closed one down in October, and now they're closing another one down that's dated for April closure.
There's an easy solution to this. Make it illegal to close your plants.
Oh, yeah, of course. The socialist way. Let's not have freedom.
Oh, we got a bunch of people on YouTube this morning.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we got 10 folks that I show. What do you show?
I just see a lot of chats.
Oh, a lot of chats. Okay, where's my Reverend at? Hey, Robert, Garrett, is the Reverend around today?
Maybe if he sees the money.
Okay.
Like a good reverend, waits till the cash gets passed.
Wait till the gold plate goes around, you know? You guys need to update the intro. Do you have a more current video of Doc?
With the beard.
That's a good point. Yes.
That's a good looking beard.
It's starting to look good, yeah. It's starting to look good, yeah. All right, James Hughes Duckworth. What a sophisticated name. Says, hello, world. Guessing we're a bit early. No, we were a bit late. Brockus says, howdy, and Spencer Wright says, good morning and Merry Christmas, Doc and family. Yes. And Bishop Josh. Bish Bosh Josh, okay, says on the end of the last phase, to mine every copper node in the desert. Still going to take 9 hours. Yeah, it does take a bit. It does take a bit. Okay, James Hughes. Okay. Merry FICSMAS, and yes, hello world were the first 2 words sent over the internet. I do believe that's accurate. Max Murphy says, personally, I believe a mixture of communism and democracy would have a very good government. But I'm not here to talk about politics. Me neither. Me neither. But economics is fair game. And the problem is, some politicians are divorced from what their policies cause economically. And Newsom and the Oregon governor and the Washington governor are finding out. So
all politicians deserve coal in their stockings.
all of them? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning, Santa, Doc, and Elf Sons from Teal Hiking. Good to have you. It's Wabbit season. Subscribed with Prime, and they're 11 months running.
Wow.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Zach says, hey, Doc, and Yoitzrio bro. Yoitzrio bro?
I think it's Rio bro.
Oh, it's real bro. Okay, is that from Brazil, Rio de Janeiro? Wait a minute.
Could be.
Rio de Janeiro is not in Brazil.
Yeah.
It is? I was right. I thought I was wrong. Okay. Hi, Doc. Nice beard growth. Yes, it's getting there. Well, today I'm saving points. So no package game. Okay. Jay Fallen says watch streak has reached 3 streams. Alrighty. Great way to spend my Tuesdays and Thursdays. Mr. Wiz says good morning. And One Metal Fist says hi. So, that's cool. I really, really appreciate all you being here. It makes it a fun day for me. We got 16 on Twitch, 9 on YouTube, but YouTube is still kind of catching up to the morning. So that's good. That is good. Well, I have got a good bit of work to do today. I am bringing I'm bringing some fuel here to my drones so they can get the drones working. And I need straight into there.
Oh,
straight into there.
What's
the
up?
Train looks like it's jittering back and forth to me.
Oh, you got in.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
After a bit, it'll calm down. Yeah, it really will.
I just probably better not touch.
Better not what?
Better not touch it.
Yeah.
Why are these trains so long?
Because Doc loves his long trains.
Yeah.
But how do you unload the second half of them?
What do you mean, how do you unload the second half?
There's not enough train stations to unload the second half of them.
Yes, there is. There's only 16 on the car, and there's 16 freight stations.
Sure.
What are you seeing?
I suppose a train that's not entirely inside the train station.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's waiting for the other train that's still kind of pulling out.
So Emmeline is here. It says, hey, Doc.
Hi.
Me and Mama Doc are watching.
Okay.
And Mama Doc says she loves you.
All right. Tell her I love her too. Yeah, it's good.
She's still young enough that that kind of thing is still embarrassing.
They're out right now, spreading Christmas cheer. So. Bish Boss Josh has a question.
Okay.
It says, thoughts on Factorio, but looking at playing it after I finish the last phase.
Okay.
Oh. So that's the issue. There are too many trees in Blueprint.
Huh? Too many trees?
There's not enough items in the depot
Oh,
to be able to build a single.
you have to go fill up your bags to be able to build it.
Pretty much.
So, Doc, do you have a thought on Factorio?
Do I have a thought on Factorio? Will you ask the question again?
Just thoughts on Factorio. I've been looking at playing it after I finished the last phase.
I struggled with the two-dimensional feel of it. I like the graphics in Satisfactory so much that I would have to say that Satisfactory, spoiled me for playing Factorio. Is basically all I can say. Mechanically, it seemed like a pretty neat game. In fact, I played it a couple different times, built a couple different worlds. Struggled with the fact that the mines run out, so you can't just leave a miner and keep the mine flowing. So the mines aren't infinite in Factorio. So that means that you've got to leave enough space in your planning to move your miners around and still hook them up to conveyors and get the product there. They do give you plenty of information to deal with that, but it was difficult. That's it there. Just a sec. Otherwise, I kind of enjoyed the game to a certain degree. Still was getting used to the controls and getting used to figuring out where things are. It has a nice progression of unlocks, and it seemed to work really well, unlocking things and a natural progression. So I like the game. It just wasn't one that would drag me in to want to play it over and over again. So
Feels like Satisfactory is a much more highly polished version of Factorio. It knocks off all the rough edges. It streamlines a whole lot of things, makes a whole lot of things simpler, and then just makes it, of course, just more pretty by being, three-dimensional.
yeah,
It all because it's done so much smoothing out. It does lose some of the charm of Factorio. It does lose some of the complexity of Factorio.
a 21-minute trip. Oh, it uses 21 per trip. 86 per trip? What?
Yeah, the trip's 4 minutes. Just to the left and down.
Okay, the trip is 4 minutes, but what are these two things?
It uses 21 fuel per minute, which
Okay.
means a total of 86 fuel per trip.
So this times this gives you that. Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
That's what it looks like. Hey, Garrett,
Okay.
can you take over reading chat? There's a number there, so I can lock in on this for a little bit.
Yeah.
Is One Metal Fist a university question?
No, it looks like he's giving us a factory update.
Yeah, he's just talking about his factory. He says, yesterday I rebuilt my entire water pipe setup and turned it to total spaghetti just to stabilize my power and move to the next space elevator tier.
Okay.
Expanding from 60 to 32 coal generators, huge headaches, so I had to put it to 4. To make it more stable, I added water buffers, 8 per pipe, with a buffer at the end of each line to smooth out flow fluctuations.
Cool. What was that?
I'm sorry, a little bit of my monster went down the wrong pipe, and I've been having a hard time clearing it.
Okay. Alrighty, come on. They're just drones, Rick. Come on. They're not close enough together to give me an idea if they're lined up or not.
Mr. Wiz says, I'm currently working on Mega Build. Holy crap, issues with 60 with circles, 60 foundation radius.
Okay.
That's a big circle.
Yeah, that is a big circle. Okay, I need to put a merger on top of this thing. No. Yeah, merger's fine. And then a merger here. Come on, turn. Turn, turn, turn. That one's turned. Why can't this
Using
one
a
turn?
merger.
Yes. So I'm going to merge that one in with that one.
You can't because that's an input lift.
Well, I guess it's just dum. Okay.
A bunch of my resources just got stuck up by the endless dismantle crate.
I
who's
was
the new
having
one?
that trouble yesterday, Garrett.
It's that these blueprints take so many resources. I thought that after building one, I'd have enough room to deconstruct another. But that turns out not to be the case.
Okay, come on. What did I do wrong here? It's an outport, and I want to put a merger on top of it. And that's going the right direction. And finally that one's going the right direction. Did I have one on the correct one and one on the wrong one, I think? Maybe?
Yes.
Okay.
And that one's rotated wrong too.
Well, I thought I made a big platform. Doesn't look too big now. Okay. Okay.
Steel Hyken says Satisfactory makes me feel like that one Steve Howe from Malcolm in the Middle. I want to finally work on phase 4, but realize that I had automated lost.
Okay, say that again. I want to really
I don't
connect.
know what he's talking about.
He continues in multiple comments after that.
Okay. Lexi's wanting to make sure I'm well sweetened up this morning.
But for them, I need to ship in more quartz crystals. But to build with a quartz refinery, I needed more water from the coast for pure crystals, so I need to send a rail line over there. Then I need to build a new water packaging plant in the ocean.
And Mark is here. Yay, Mark. Hi.
And Max Murphy has been asking me for the Reverend, and I think that I'm going to record some. I think I'm going to record some lines as the creature that can be played from time to time, and you guys donate rather than me doing the accent all the time.
That'd be cool.
Do you really think our users are going to let you get away with that?
Well, I certainly hope so, because
Well, we'll see.
okay. Yeah. Lexi says, "Have no fear. Lexi is finally here."
Yes. And what about your streak, Lexi? Did your streak fall apart?
I think she's been here every day.
Yeah.
Spencer Wright asks, "Do you have a video explaining how to build a nuclear power plant? I just unlocked the ability to work with nuclear energy and I'm a bit intimidated by it."
Okay. Question. Where is that question? Oh, do you have a video explaining how to build a nuclear power plant? Just unlock the ability to work with nuclear energy, and I'm a bit intimidated by it. Well, if you can watch for a while today, that is what I'm in the process of doing right now. At this point, I'm just getting supplies here. So I've got an electromagnetic control rod drone that I already set up. I already set up an electromagnetic control rod's line in my main area over there, and that's that name. And so I'm getting electromagnetic control rods. Another thing you need is you need sulfuric acid. So I'm bringing in sulfur from two mines that are back in the Dune Desert. So I got the sulfur coming in here to make sulfuric acid. I've got the electromagnetic control rods coming in here. The other items that I need to build it are pretty much in my dimensional depot. So unless I run into something, I shouldn't need anything more than just these 3 drones. And like I need concrete, and I need encased industrial beams and things like that. So watch, and hopefully that'll help you quite a bit to get a long ways, because today I'm going to specifically work on a nuclear power plant. So hope that helps. Because we can take you right along with here for as long as you can stand to watch. All right. I need to put a splitter down here.
Mark says, Max Murphy, get your wallet out, or are you getting tight your holding? And Max Murphy says, I believe my girlfriend would leave me if I spent any more money on video streaming. And Mark says, so she wears the pants in the house.
Okay. Let's be nice. Be nice. All right, so...
Fish Boss Josh asks, so do you just make everything in one location and send it where you need to get transit trains, like one factory for each item, instead of where you need it?
Usually, yes. Usually I do. In this case, it was a whole lot easier to make the electromagnetic control rods back at my factory, because I was already making stators, and I was already making, what was the other thing that needed to go in it? Stators and... Let's see. Yeah, I needed stators and AI limiters. And so stators required a supply line, and AI limiters was a little bit longer supply line, copper and quick wire. And then the stator needed copper wire and pipes. So there's a variety of things that are already built back at my main factory, and transporting them here was easier than trying to transport all the raw goods and make them here. So in that case, yeah, I make them and then transport them. Quite the same is true with the sulfur, because the sulfur, I'm actually bringing the raw goods here, and going to make the sulfuric acid here, because liquid is so hard to transport in this game. So I'm choosing to make the sulfuric acid here with the raw sulfur ore. So in that case, I'm just trying to keep it simple in that way. And so that drone should take off here shortly. It's fueling up right now, so the fuel's going in, and we will shortly see that drone take off. And it'll have 2 drones on this route. It'll have one coming from the other platform, and then the one coming from that platform to here. So, is there a better way to do this? So far, there's only one method I've found that lets me reliably supply water to 32 coal generators using Tier 1 pipes. Okay, this is the only method. I'm not quite sure what this you're referring to.
So he's referring to his paragraph earlier where he talked about his water setup.
Okay.
So he kind of set up the problem in that first paragraph, then asked a question about it. So
Tier 1 pipes are quite limiting. Granted. That is so true. So, you just somehow have to get around that. And, oh, brother, I'm grounded again.
that's a half an hour grounding.
Oh, my.
Starting at 9:28, so it'll finish at 10 o'clock.
Okay. You know, it is so much harder to build when you're on the ground. Oh, and that isn't even Mark bugging me. It's James Hughes Duckworth. Okay. 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 I get it. Wow. Have you finished your fix-it tree? I FICSMAS tree, you mean? No, I don't think you finish that until Christmas Day, do you? Or, oh yeah, we unlocked everything, so yeah, we finished the FICSMAS tree.
That's also half an hour.
Okay, so by the time it gets to the top of the hour, I can actually do something.
I think it's time to go exploring, I guess, baby.
Without being able to fly?
Well, so we genuinely need the power online. How about we suggest that Mark chooses something else that will allow him to keep on building?
No, just that's the way he wants to play. We'll let him play. But anybody that wants to come up with a $5 donation to counter either one of those, that would be fine with me. Can I? I'm just wondering.
So, Doc, I think it's actually valuable to hit the Doc University to answer one Metal Fist's question.
Okay.
It's a bit lengthy, but I think you might be able to say something good for it.
Okay. Can I read through it before we go there, just so that I know what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Kind of got an idea where I'm going. Yeah, he got stuck with Tier 1 pipes because he needed the next space elevator tier. 16 to 32 coal at generators was a huge headache, yes. Yes, that is very difficult. Added water buffers, 8 per pipe. Okay. Interesting thought. So far, the only method I found is to... Okay. Can he send a picture of his setup posted in Discord so I can show that on screen?
Yeah, so we could just kind of hold that in our back pocket.
Yes, please do, because I'd like to see what he came up with. And I have a feeling I know what may be happening in his case. I think I know what might be happening in his case that's causing issues and problems. So, One Metal Fist, can you take a picture of your setup? Go to our Discord and post it, and make sure you Robert, can you tell him what folder would be best for you to retrieve it so we can see it on screen?
Yeah, it specifically goes in the, oh gosh, what's the name of it? Help me fix my build.
Okay.
It used to be called Fix My Build, and somebody told me I should change it to
Dispatch
help me.
Josh.
Yep. He just countered. He just countered.
You just counted the no build?
The no building. Thank you. Thank you.
Let the man work.
I still can't fly to do it, but you know, we'll suffer with that at least. Okay.
Ah!
You gotcha. Gotcha.
He did indeed. Oh.
He did indeed. Kaizen controller redeemed no conveyors. So I can build, but I can't build with conveyors.
That is only 10 minutes.
Okay. Please keep track of that. Because I'm going to start putting down things to make sulfuric acid, and I've got to figure out what that is. Okay. Huh. I gotta
And
check
Charles
something.
Fabrini says, Happy Holidays.
Huh.
Well,
I've always spelled sulfur S-U-L-P-H-U-R. Then I noticed it's spelled S-U-L-F-U-R. And so I Googled it here. Sulfur, also known as S-U-L-F-U-R in American English, chemical element. So in its native form, sulfur, S-U-L-P-H-U-R, is a yellow crystalline solid. I said no building, Doc.
Oh no. That's an hour.
it is indeed.
An hour, so... Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, Okay, Mr. Pinky Preacher Man, I need to come confess my sins so that I can be absolved of no building.
Unfortunately,
That's
I
not
cannot absolve you of the consequences of your
of my
allowing
sins.
people to pay you to not work.
Man,
Darn.
isn't that the dream?
Isn't that the dream, you say?
Being paid to not work?
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Like,
How could you ever do that? I can't.
Little Mr. Green Jeans has a comment that might be taken to Doc University.
Okay.
It says, I was thinking about going to community college for logistics. Should I suck it up and go for mechanical engineering? I am afraid of commitment, but I want a career that I can be happy.
Well, that's an interesting, yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's take that one to the university.
some real life advice, huh?
Yeah, let's do some real life stuff here. Okay. We have a question from Little Mr. Green Jeans. I was thinking about going to community college for logistics. Should I just suck it up and go for mechanical engineering? I'm afraid of the commitment, but I want a career I can be happy with. I don't think logistics is any less of a career. There are a lot of complexities with logistics. I knew a man who had retired once, and he got with a consulting service and ended up being so busy in his retirement that he couldn't even slow down, and all he did was logistical planning. And these large trucking firms and Amazon in big particular there have huge logistics issues that they have to resolve on an everyday basis. So somebody who's very good at the technical side of logistics management can have a very viable career, especially since, you know, it's more of a manufacturer, producer to home sort of world that we live in that'll probably only increase over time. You've got to get it from the manufacturer to wherever it's going to be distributed, then to home, and that's all logistics every step of the way until you get it to the doorstep. On the other hand, mechanical engineer is a good, stable, 9 to 5 sort of job. Logistics tends to be a 24-hour-a-day job. So if you want something that you can, you know, have a home life and raise a family, mechanical engineering provides a good, stable 9 to 5 job. Probably not as good paying as logistics. Now, so I don't. Okay, should also add that I'm 27 and have a newborn coming in February. Well, congratulations to you. That is good news. Don't worry about the commitment. You'll find a way to finish the schooling. I worked on my bachelor's, my master's, and my PhD while I was working full time, and had 4 and 5 kids ultimately during that whole time. So you find the way to do the things you want to do. So don't worry about, you know, the commitment as long as you've got good support at home. But I think either career is just a balance of what do you want to do, and how do you want to go about getting the education you need to do it. We have had people at Boeing that went all the way. In particular, one person got his PhD in aeronautical engineering. If you get your bachelor's, get into a large company, a lot of times they'll pay for the education going forward. So that's always an option with either discipline. So hope that helps, because I think either way is a good combination. So good. Let's go back to the game where I can't build and I can't fly and trying to figure out what I'm going to do.
As in controller says, I mean just basic. I must have been something.
He's talking about sulfur.
Yeah. Okay. He's just talking about sulfur. I thought he had something to say about the current conversation, given that his name is Kaizen Controller.
Jay Follen has a comment about the current conversation.
I am a design and manufacturing engineering technologist, which is a
CAD and
2-year
CAM.
diploma program. After completing it, I have the option to upgrade my diploma to a mechanical engineering degree with an additional 2 years of school. I highly recommend this pathway.
Okay. Having CAD skills is incredibly high demand there too. At Boeing, we had various types of CAD software, not just the usual ones that you'd think of, but some rather obscure ones too that specifically focused on aeronautical formulas and stuff like that. So anyway, that's probably a good idea there too. Okay, didn't we have another question that we could take to the university that was, I think that Robert mentioned?
Well, from One Metal Fist, I'm just waiting to see if he posts in Discord.
That's right.
And if he does, we'll go to it. But
Very
we
good.
do have something from Mark.
Uh-huh.
I'll take that.
Now that I've got your attention, Doc. Okay, we're going to take that one to the university?
Go ahead.
Okay. All right, Mark, or Dan, SY says, now that I've got your attention, Doc, I am building a raised power plant. Well, if you're building, why can't I build? Okay, anyway, building a raised power plant of oil to turbo fuel, okay. My question is, how do I power the refineries to make the fluids in order to power the generators? Okay, chicken before the egg. If you are struggling to get that going, sometimes are you far? You're working on turbo fuel. You're probably not far enough to throw down an alien power augmenter. That's a quick, easy way. Otherwise, if you make a blueprint of a biofuel power plant and put enough biofuel, whatever type, in a container, you can throw those down just to get the initial power to get the thing running. That is a problem if you're not close enough and you can't bring a power line from somewhere else into it. You can do that. Otherwise, you got to drag a power line out there and you get them hooked up to get them started. And yeah, that is a kind of a chicken before the egg issue. You've got to have the chicken first, and you need the eggs to make the chickens. So it's kind of a weird process to go through. So, all right, let's go back to the game. Ooh. Okay, Kaizen controller. It says, I mean, in regards to backgrounds, I'm a non-degreed process engineer who just got a Six Sigma black belt from the American Society of Quality and certified associate in project management from PMI. Currently interviewing for a director of operations role for a smaller company looking at low six figures on salary. My background is nearly 6 years of field technician experience with 5 years of manufacturing experience before my last 4 in engineering. Not as many doors are open without the degree, but there are pathways nonetheless. You just live in a liminal space that is, you are overqualified for most operations roles and underqualified for some professional careers early in your career. Yeah, that is true. That is true. The Illuminator says, sir, this is a Wendy's. Help me understand what that comment means, please. Okay, One Metal Fist sent those pictures to you, so that's good. That's good.
Gary, you want to explain that?
Actually, it's an Arby's. Yeah.
It
Okay.
is a meme.
It is a meme, huh?
Generally referring to when people are doing things not consistent with where they are.
Okay.
Usually making trouble in a Wendy's.
Oh.
That's where it started.
Okay.
But it's,
I
when
build
somebody
anything.
comes into the wrong place, and, if somebody were to come in here and start to get an insane political rant, you're like, sir, this is Wendy's? What you're doing is totally out of place here, kind of thought.
Indeed, indeed.
Okay, Robert. Doc, quick joke. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Guess we'll find out which one Amazon delivers first. And One Mental Fist says that companies like Boeing, do materials engineers usually work in teams or they work more individual? I'm interested in materials engineering for aircraft and spacecraft, so I'm curious how collaborative the work typically is. It is usually very collaborative, because simply you can't build a plane with the mentality of one person. It's just not possible. So that when they're constantly talking about the new materials that can be used to lighten the plane, to give better or more efficient processes done, you really have to be to be working in the teams, especially in a situation where you've got all kinds of additive manufacturing now, or they call it 3D printing sometimes. In the manufacturing world, they call it additive manufacturing, where you've got the 3D printer type of model printing metals or printing fiber or printing various different types of surfaces. It's, I'm talking a little bit above my pay grade here, but with all those things, you really I see them working in teams much more. A manager will cluster a team together. The manager will be given a task, and the team will collaborate to work on that. And then when you get to your CAD program and start mocking it up, and then you start working with a team to actually build it that has control of the 3D printers and in the manufacturing process, so you can demo, so you can create prototypes and so forth. It's really a big collaborative effort. So you might have a 3D printing expert in one area on the team. You might have a lot of CAD CAM experts on the team. You might have several different disciplines together so that you can work together and get things done. Okay.
I'm reposting One Metal Fist questions so we can answer those now.
Okay, so do we have the picture?
If you can pop open Discord and then go into our server and help me fix my build area. He got us lots of pictures.
Uh-oh. Lots, huh? Okay, help me fix my build is there, and...
It's the most recent post, a whole bunch of pictures.
Okay. So,
oh gosh.
Okay.
It's overflowing the window I built for it.
Robert, can you get timestamps for Southern Brawl and Dope Building? Somehow the timers didn't get started.
Okay. The timers didn't get
Southern Brawl
started.
started at 9:32, and No Building started at 9:35.
And that goes till 10:35.
Yep.
Interesting.
Okay. So if you can bring the Discord over and look and maximize those pictures. There we go. And then you
Alrighty.
can click on the right hand side of the screen to page through those.
Very good. Okay, so yesterday I rebuilt my entire water pipe setup and it turned into a total spaghetti just to stabilize my power and move to the next space elevator tier to unlock better pipes. Expanding from 16 to 32 coal generators was a huge headache, so I had to split them up into groups of 4 to make things more stable. I added water buffers, 8 per pipe, with a buffer at the end of each line to smooth out the flow fluctuation. So what's happened is One Metal Fist has gone ahead and posted pictures of his build here, and he's has the water generators here, and he's got some pipes here, and one of the criteria here is that they're Mark 1 pipes, so they're only flowing 300 per pipe. That's critical to this question. So and here are the pipes going down into the generators. Okay, and there a little bit more. The pipes are full, so that's good. And the pipes are going around the building, and we got pumps out here. Okay. Okay. So there's where you see them going into the building, where we saw them coming in from the wall before. Okay. Yeah, here's getting to where I wanted to see what was going on. Okay, so you've got the fluid buffers up above, and they are hopefully keeping the pipes full there. And that's another side building shot, and that shot. Okay, we're back to the beginning. Okay, not quite the detail I was hoping 4.
I see the problem.
Okay. And you see the problem, and
Yeah, he has 6 extractors attached on one pipe. He doesn't have the capacity in his pipes, so he needs to build a loop to so he can have a second input per pipe. You see those 6 extractors are putting in too much.
Yeah. Okay. So each extractor puts out 300 when it's fully overclocked. At not overclocked, they're putting out 120. So he can put 2 of these per pipe. 3 per pipe would be over maxing it by 60 more than what it can handle. But I only see him putting 2 per pipe, Robert. Unless this is 3 in a row here on this one pipe. Mm-hmm. That might be the case. And he's put 3 on this. Yeah, he's got 3 on this one. Looks like 4 on this one. Okay.
Well, he said he broke it down from the 32. He broke it into 4 systems. That means he has 8 generators, which is 8 generators and 3 pumps per. 3 pumps need 360, and 8 generators need 360. He's producing 300.
And he can only move 300.
He can only move 300.
Yeah.
So you need the loop to provide that other 60.
Exactly. And if we go back, if we continue to move forward, you see individual pipes going into each one, down here anyway. And up above, you got the pipe coming in. What you're not seeing is any looping back at all. And I was wondering if here's the loop back. I mean, here's the...
Yeah, he did say, a little farther down, he just commented. So he has... Sorry, trying to find it. There we go. I highlighted it up top, Doc.
Okay, each pipe has its own row, and the other pipes have their own row on the other side. Okay, so he's trying to equalize the amount of, he is kind of doing a loop back over here with the inputs coming in. These are going down. I don't see. Yeah.
So, the question is, do you have a loop coming around to handle that other 60? Because you're limited to 300 per minute.
Yeah.
Do you have something handling that other 60? I think that's the vital question.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm not seeing it. Because from up above, it looks like it's going one pipe into each individual one, but up above, it has them linked together along with buffers. I'm not, as a rule, in favor of buffers. I would rather handle the fluids directly. These aren't getting any water. Notice that? This one's getting water, but these 2 are not. At the time of this picture, anyway. So, even if these are all linked, it would be hard to imagine that these would be empty with this one full if they're all linked together. And there they show full pretty much all the way as far as I can see. This one's not. That one doesn't look like it's connected. Yeah, that's why it's not. Interesting. Okay, I can understand why you got frustrated with this. What Camp 1I says he doesn't like buffers. Buffers tend to create the sloshing. They'll fill up and then slosh. You're better off with a water tower where you just pull them up higher. You pull up the water in pipes higher than what is needed for the system, and then let it drop down, and it pressurizes all your pipes. So if you get it to the top, it pressurizes all your pipes. But the reality is that if you have a section of machines that there's only one pipe going through it with no other inputs of another pump machine, you don't get the amount of fluid going through there, because the last one will be starved, because the neck at the first wants more, can't send enough to get to that last one. So while these pipes are showing full, once you start ramping up all of your generators, and they start requiring more than what the pipe can handle down that line, they end up just getting starved at the end. So you've done a good job using your pumps to keep it going up. Obviously, by the fact that all these pipes are full, but they're getting there, and they're just probably not getting distributed properly. If you have 3 machines here, it's going to overstimulate this one. It's going to try to pump in 360, and because there's 3, and so the only way to get a full 360 in this is to have only 2 of these machines, and have your third machine go up there and pump it in the opposite end of the line. So that's as much as I can get out of this at this point. You got 4 machines back here pumping into one line here, and you got 480 going into the 300 line there, and that's just not gonna function. So, alrighty.
Yeah, he did make one more comment that I highlighted up there.
Okay. I didn't realize I needed to make a return loop. Okay. The pipes were just ending at a buffer instead. Aha.
Okay.
Yeah. Do have the rebalance your lines here to where you've only got as many pumps as what will fill a line. And then, yes, make sure that if you've got more than just the number of machines that can do 300, you've got to have one line coming in the one end and the other line coming in the other end, so that the ones in the middle will get it from both ends, and that will help keep those going. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully that helps, and everybody online will kind of help you too. So, alrighty. Let's go back and see what I can do. I wanted to get my nuclear power plant up today, but if I can't build, I can't get my nuclear plant going. I so badly need power. What?
Oh, I like the way Kaizen commented on the situation. Because he put it in the language, right?
Mm-hmm.
He says, in this case, it's identification of the constraint. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but a buffer/inventory is generally only useful in a case where you have inconsistent surges of demand that exceed supply, but are intermittent enough that this normal supply can refill them between demand cycles.
Yep.
Right.
And that's not the case. You're going to have consistent demand with the number of machines you put on there. They'll just want a certain amount all the time. So
buffers are great for Satisfactory if you talk about a train or a drone that's delivering intermittently. You have the power storage, which works as a buffer if you're using geothermal power. But trying to think of it, or trucks or anything else, any sort of delivery system that's intermittent. Otherwise, buffers and just storage of stuff is silly, is unnecessary.
Okay. Good comment. Good comment.
We have a lot of comments.
Yeah, you do.
Mark says, Doc, everyone I have seen build from the base upwards. I wanted something different, so my starting height is 1,600 meters, and each floor down will be a different productive process running from the power supply at the top.
Oh boy.
Oh, he's building his factory from the top down, rather than from the bottom up.
Trying to think of anything I can do, because I can't go hunt for Mercer spheres, because I can't build foundations to get up there. I can't fly. Actually, I can fly now.
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock. Yeah, you can fly. You can go explore. And actually, Garrett sent you a big list of Mercer spheres that Mark collected for you.
And where did he send them to?
Yeah, they're in your Discord chat from Garrett.
locations.
Yep.
For
Yep.
multi-locations.
And in a private chat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ravenwood Games says, I just hit year 7 recently, and I'm scared to start aluminum, so I decided to do a complete base rebuild instead, utilizing vehicles, roads, and instead of spaghetti.
Well, Lexi had a couple private comments here that were interesting. She says, "Hi, Doc. I just restarted in Satisfactory doing a permanent machine build. So when I place a machine, I can't move it ever or change the recipe that was put in. Only things I'm allowed to change and move are conveyor splitters, power lines, and poles, and the special items, save for the awesome sink." Okay, that's got to challenge you in a big way.
Good luck.
Good luck, yes, exactly. Okay. Wow. Okay, I'm going to copy these. I'm going to resume game. I'm going to go to the build menu. I'm going to go over here and pop this out. And I'm going to put some of that here. And so as I find each of these...
Captain Clink says, hey Doc, first time
Captain
joining your live
Clink.
stream. Love your videos and wanted to come give you a huzzah.
All right, thank you.
Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Okay.
Garrett, I would like to hear a huzzah in a southern accent, please.
That is not what they...
Ah, dang it.
Okay, so I'm going to go on mostly a Mercer Sphere hunt and see if I haven't already got these. That might be the case. So, where do you see where I'm located? Can anybody help me with that?
From the map?
Yeah, from the map?
When you hover over place the map, yep, coordinates top right.
Okay. And the coordinates are north, south, east, west? Which one's north, south? Which one's east, west?
You're going to have to move your mouse and kind of discover.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm pretty sure 00 is the center of the screen.
Yeah, I would be pretty sure of that, too.
Yep.
Yeah, so, right here in the center someplace is going to be... Okay, so east-west is the first one. North-south is the second. So there's basically 00. Okay. And so, if I want to... I'm going to have to write these down because the map isn't going to... 42, 53, 32, 38. Okay, 32, 38. Do I have plenty of fuel? I've got only 30 rocket fuel. I don't think I don't have any rocket fuel in the depot. Only have 30 rocket fuel and I can use jetpack, otherwise gonna do as much. See, these are just flying around because I can't build. Can't build something so that I can let these birds.
Somebody asked why you're doing a no build challenge.
Because somebody paid for it. Our friend, who was it? James Hughes Duckworth, was that?
This one
no
was
build was
Mark.
Bishop. Okay, Bish Bosh Josh was no build, and then he put it back on. So I've got no build until what was it?
Oh, you
For
can
another half an hour.
1035.
You can actually search for them in the coordinates bar in the map.
In the what part?
On the map. So if you navigate to, you just type them right there.
4253. Minus 2238. And I hit enter and what?
There you go. It pinged on the map. Look at that.
It's off the map. Did you see that? It's clear up here.
Yeah.
It's in death zone.
Oh.
How did Mark get there?
I don't think that's no. Levy G. Wolf is back. He says, Doc, I missed you guys during my PC hiatus. Doc's in full concentration. Yeah, looks like that one's off the map.
It's pinging these coordinates. In other words, it can't get to 4253.
Huh. Take one digit off of that.
Which one? For beginning or end?
Is it supposed to be like 5.3 or?
If he got these off of Satisfactory calculator, there's a multiply by 10 or divide by 10 going on. I can't remember which to get to location. So try just leaving off the last digit of each. Because I'm pretty sure he was doing stuff. That's much more reasonable of a location.
Reasonable, yes, but where were we playing that day? Weren't we up here that day?
Yep. I don't know. I haven't seen the list of numbers.
Well, all of them.
Be able to stand.
All of them are in the thousands, except for there's a 262 minus 262 minus 222.76.
Well, how about you try a different location? Look at the second one.
Okay.
Because that one's not nearly as high.
Okay. 2, 3, 2,
He
4.
could also just be said to go on a wild goose
Minus
chase.
3, 0, 9.
Not Mark. He would never do that.
No, of course Mark wouldn't do that.
Lexi says, change the rules a bit.
Two, two,
I'm
four.
it now, so I can't move or change anything when I put my tool away. I use building it in the moment. So once she puts the tool away, she can't move it.
Huh. Well, this one is poking right there. Right there. Okay, so how to new map marker?
Lexi says she can hardly hear, and yeah, it does look like I'm pretty quiet.
Yeah, you are.
How do I sound now? Now?
Okay, you're
There we
getting
go.
loud.
Turning myself back down a little bit.
Uh-huh. I thought in here you could actually
And Mark says 29 people on YouTube watching and only 4 likes on the thumbs up. What gives? If you're here enjoying it, then please add a thumbs up to Gaming with Doc. Cheers.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
And James Hughes Duckworth says much better.
We appreciate you guys pointing out when we're not quite tuned properly.
And one Metal Fist redeems Stretch.
Okay. I'm trying to... I thought you could... I thought you could tell it specifically where to put the marker instead of having to click on the map. But anyway, whatever. Okay. Okay, we'll apply, and we'll fly on over there and see. So it would be over.
Yep, over that way.
Oh,
You're not going to make it. Oh, you're going to the drink.
Will rocket fuel work out when I'm in water?
Yeah, you just have to jump your way out of the water.
Look at this. This is a whole world down here. And even got shadows down here.
Jay Fallen says, I was getting into a nuclear power for the first time the other day and made my entire world radioactive for about a quarter of the normal reading. I demolished everything before realizing it was a bug.
It was... You demolished everything? Oh.
I've had the same bug, but luckily I was on Doc's world. He wasn't having the problem, and I was having it, so I'm like, oh, it's my problem.
Okay. Signed into my YouTube account and gave a like. Thank you. Okay.
I'm going to turn myself back down a little bit because you guys can hear every time I click. And that's no good.
Hi, Kelly. How are you? Keep moving. Keep moving. No. Be farther that way. I'm sorry.
One Metal Fist says, okay, I think I understand now. I'm going to remove all the water buffers and connect the pipes in a loop from one end back to the start so the flow circulates continuously. That should fix the issue, right?
Should.
Hey, look at that.
Leaving temple hums a resonant song. Play for us.
Okay, so this is 42, 53, 37, 50.
Okay,
It's the first one.
okay. Doc, your mouse, it's the coordinates on the map there are your mouse, not your character.
To file the scripture.
There you go.
Okay, so what does that relate to? It doesn't seem to relate to anything. That is me.
Yeah, it relates to where your mouse is on the map.
Okay, I get that. I get
Okay, you
that.
said it doesn't seem to relate to anything.
Harmonize with us.
Any of the list.
Oh, okay. Sure.
I mean, I'll gladly collect the Mercer Sphere, but it seemed like it was more of an accident.
Consume.
Mark, 5 pounds is a half hour. 10 pounds is an hour. In dollars, it costs $6 to go an hour, or no,
Okay.
$6 to go a half an hour, and $12 to go an hour. That's kind of the closest about having to do rounding in individual minutes and whatnot, or without, yeah, just rounding it.
Oh, you're going to run away before you even get close.
Captain Clink says, would be neat if Satisfactory expanded to underwater ore nodes in the future. Let me play in the high seas.
Yep. I think that's kind of like the top candidate for a lot of us for an expansion.
Water and space. I want to see both of them as expansions.
What?
Big boy.
Yeah, he took 3 shots. I don't have that many of them.
That's a big boy too. He's going to take a lot more hits.
Is he dead?
Rebel Duster says, watching 3 ads to get to your live. Doc, hold on, Doc.
Oh boy. You're a saint. Thank you very much.
Limp Noodle says, I found 15, I assume Mercer spheres, running around with my scanner. This is the 3rd stream I've watched in a row. Or, oh, that's somebody else. Cap One Eye says, I finished the game with Spaghetti World, started a new one, 30 hours in, and I'm going slow and building neat factories and supply lines.
Cool. Yeah, you tend to start doing that. I mean, the initial rush makes you feel like you need to get from tier to tier and let's get there fast. But after a while, you know, after you've done it once, you start building more elegant factories a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
Or you go play another game.
Okay, repairs needed. I need electromagnetic control rods.
Oh, Robert.
What?
That wouldn't be fun.
What are you talking about?
What? What wouldn't be fun?
Other games exist, right? Right? Anyone?
No. It's all Satisfactory.
So how toxic can it be to carry uranium in your pockets? How bad can that be?
Well,
Very. It immediately puts you to max radiation, period. But that is as bad as it gets. Mr. Wiz says, this is the 3rd stream I've watched in a row. It will not allow me to redeem channel points. Any suggestions?
That's strange. Yeah, you should be able to redeem channel points fairly easy.
Mm-hmm.
there are some countries that don't allow it, but you should know if that's the issue.
And Jay Fallen says, still waiting for someone to make a factory that can run Doom.
As soon as they allow signaling in the game, it will happen.
Oh, yeah.
Because then you basically run your program by having sushi belts full of items that trigger and untrigger certain signals. Then you have panels that light up or don't, so now you have your pixels, you have them programmed. Then you need inputs that change, whether conveyors are running or not. It'll be possible.
Now, I am wearing my suit, and I have filters. So, what are you laughing at?
Captain Link says, Satisfactory is life. And James Hughes says, bad Robert.
Satisfactory is life? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to put my cup away for now.
It seems like your statement was somewhat unpopular.
Who would think that going into being in a stream with a bunch of people playing Satisfactory or watching Doc play Satisfactory, it would be unpopular to say that you can play other games besides Satisfactory? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Crazy to assume that, Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Levy asks, what are other games? Satisfactory is a brilliant game. Just,
Is a brilliant game, you said?
Yeah, it's a pretty good.
Yeah, me and Robert just aren't the kind of people to typically stick with a game this long.
Yeah, they, have a little bit of an attention deficit disorder.
Not wanting to play the same game over and over again is not ADD.
Oh, you don't think so, huh?
No.
Okay. Let's now
In fact,
use...
I specifically play a lot of games that are really short experiences because they're things that you can't get as long experiences.
Horror games is a big deal.
Horror games. The survival horror games are a lot longer, but a lot of horror games are very short, punchy, meant to share a particular idea and then move on.
Yep. And I'm somewhere between Doc and Garrett. Actually, no. I'm exactly like Doc. I'm just not in my game.
That said, I did play a lot of Skyrim when it first came out.
You and absolutely everybody else.
Yep.
Except for me, for some reason. I don't know what it was about the open world of it, but it just... I enjoyed the concept of the game more than I enjoyed the game, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
I would constantly get distracted and then get uninterested because I'm not being propelled forward in the story. Which is ridiculous. But...
Well, I actually ended up feeling the same way with, oh gosh, the Dark Souls remake. The open world version.
Oh, yeah. Elden Ring?
Yeah, Elden Ring. Jay Fallen says, the only other game I know of is Productive Packer Deluxe. And Kaizen Controller says, a true person of class. James Hughes says, must confess my ADHD and autism have me playing at least 4 games concurrently.
Okay. See? It is an ADD problem. Oh, anyway.
I have a number of games I've bought that I've played that I enjoy every minute I play it. But then when it comes time to actually play it again, I struggle because for so many years, for me, playing games means having YouTube on one screen and playing the game on the other screen. And a lot of games want more attention than that. And for some reason, I wish I could just focus in on one game more, but I just don't. And I kind of shoot myself in the foot because of that, you know? And like Age of Empires, it's been one of my favorite games forever. Age of Empires, the sequel came out like a year ago, 2, whatever. Bought it. Started one of the campaigns, loved it. I want to go through all the campaigns because they're always a ton of fun. Haven't ever gotten back to it. Been playing Anno. That's been fun. Haven't finished the campaign. Want to get back to it. Might not because it's a single monitor game. I can't multitask and do a million things at once and brain rot at the same time. What is game if not brain rot?
Oh. Yeah. Levy says, when Skyrim came, it took me a while to figure out not to visit every location before I leveled up.
Yeah. Okay.
Kaizen Controller says, the sequel to Satisfactory will be called, Good Enough.
Okay. Nice.
I've collected most of the Mercer spheres up here, but I think there's a uranium mine up here that I can mark, and 23 minutes from now, or... Wait a minute. No. Only about 12 minutes plus.
There is only one perfect phone game, in my opinion.
Okay. Controversial take here. Probably a
Minesweeper.
bad one. Minesweeper?
Minesweeper. It's easy enough that you don't have to care, but it takes a few minutes of attention, provides a nice little break on something that doesn't matter at all. It's perfect.
But is this a geothermal spot?
It obviously wasn't. I was checking it. I'm pretty sure there's
But Garrett, it doesn't have lives and a timer and watch ads to double your number of testers or...
Good.
How could it possibly be a mobile game if it doesn't have those?
I don't know. Maybe it's not a mobile game. Maybe the thing that's not the mobile game is the perfect mobile game.
There you go. Honestly, a lot of those old Windows games would be great mobile games. Chips Challenge. Why is it Chips Challenge?
I would
on
love to
mobile?
play Chips Challenge again.
Right?
Yeah.
Nice little puzzle game.
I doubt that anybody here knows what Chips Challenge is. It wasn't a very popular game even during its time, and now it's old.
Oh gosh, what is... Oh, you used to go through a maze to get chips, right?
Yeah. It was just a whole bunch of little puzzlers.
Okay. That part's done.
Tyson remembers Chips Challenge.
Nice.
Okay, there was another one of that same era, and I could probably find it if I look for it. And I know Lexi knows some of these old games as well. There was one where it was specifically the boy with his dog, where he was trying to find his dog. There was something going on with his dog, and it was very Chips Challenge in its style or that era. For some reason, in my brain, it's adjacent to it. I can't remember what that game is. It's probably not specific enough.
We have a university question.
We do.
We do.
Save me from
This is also a first-time chat, so...
hunting. Save me from hunting constantly. Also, first-time chat, too. Huh?
Mhm.
All right, let me position myself to go get that. I think that's a slug. Yes, that's a slug. A yellow one. Okay. All right, let's see. Bread Boy has a question. It says, Morning, Doc. I'm about to rebuild my factory for Phase 4. Do I go mega or modular? I'm so used to working out of one location, but it's getting really expensive to run so much conveyor. Yeah, I do understand. I like working out of one location as well. But there are times when you just have need to have a modular factory somewhere and then take a train and move it on into your mega factory. The mega factory is really where you're going to build the more complex stuff, and you need those early builds in order to support the more complex builds later. So the game kind of forces you into building some modular factories to get some raw goods and minor products, get those components to your factory, but it also kind of forces you into kind of consolidating some of that and bringing it to a main factory so that you can work on it. There is this give and take between, do I do a ton of spaghetti, do a ton of conveyors, or do I do a train out to the modular factory? Trains are usually more efficient, and the train can be on a route, and you can have multiple cars on it. They pick up at different places. A lot of flexibility there, but I would treat your modular factories as good, robust factories. Go upgrade them when you get new conveyors, and upgrade them when you get new miners, so they can produce even more, and then move the surplus of those goods over to your mega factory, where you can then build those complex parts. I think the both worlds is the best model to work from. So hope that helps. And back to the game. And back to collecting a slug.
Kaizen Controller says, it's a good thing he likes Minesweeper because that statement just landed him in a minefield. And Levy says, I liked the 3D maze screensaver that you could interact with. And Kaizen says, I remember Chip's challenge.
look
I
at
just saw
this.
someone...
I just accidentally found a boom block.
It's 8. Nice.
For Hunt Down. Cool.
Kaizen Controller says, I just saw someone else talking about it on TikTok yesterday, too. Interesting.
Cool.
And One Metal Fist asked, do we get a centrifuge later in the game when we reach the radioactivity stage to process uranium and generate power?
No centrifuges, no.
There is the... It's not labeled as a centrifuge, but it's used in the processing stage. But only for the higher level stuff, not uranium itself. And the name of it escapes me because I'm terrible with words.
Okay, not a centrifuge. It would be a...
The vertical spinner thingies.
yeah, the particle accelerators.
Particle accelerator. There you go. So, no, it's not a centrifuge at all. But
No, not really.
it spins and it's circular, okay? Close enough. I shouldn't have stayed up till 2 o'clock this morning.
That is a correct statement.
By the way, Garrett,
Repent.
Yeah.
I stumble in at 2 o'clock. The house is completely dark.
Can I build now?
No. 2 minutes.
Ouch.
I stumble into my room, about to flop down on my bed, completely exhausted, regretting everything, and I almost flopped onto a 70-pound dog. She didn't even look up at me. She didn't even move. She just barely opened her eyes and just kind of gave me this side eye for a moment, just like, really? Really?
That's hilarious.
And then she laid back down and just went to sleep, huh?
Uh-huh. Until I actually woke her up, and she begrudgingly calmed down.
You wanted her to move, huh?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I mean, it is his bed.
It is
as
my
much as she
bed.
might think otherwise. She goes there because she sometimes gets kicked off of my bed. She gets
really?
kicked off of his bed less often.
She gets kicked off of my bed whenever I see it, but I'm just not around as much. I'll let her come visit me, you know.
Can you kill one with a candy cane?
It might take a while.
Well, I have not been successful killing one with the explosive rebar.
Well, it'll take less time with the explosive rebar. Though it might take quite a few shots.
They have hundreds of health. So, Maribor asks, can I join your world on the Xbox?
Unfortunately, no. PCs and consoles don't play together yet.
Yeah.
He died.
Kaizen Controller says, nothing worse than your dog judging your life decisions silently and with all the dignity of someone who's never paid taxes.
That's a great way of putting it.
Yeah.
All right, it is now time. I can now build, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
On the YouTube side, Joel says, hi Doc, how are you doing?
Good,
Is there a
good.
way to program trucks to bring a fixed amount of items to a given place using a road system? Like 200 iron ingots and 100 copper.
No.
Ingots to a singular farm. Thank you.
No, there's really no way to tell it exactly how much to bring anywhere. Just like there's really no way to tell how much to bring at a certain rate on a train or any of the other transport items. They carry loads. If there's enough to get a full load, they take a full load. If there's not enough to take a full load, they take whatever is there, and they just take it. Really, all you can do is figure out what the maximum is, by just looking at the dashboard for the particular vehicle and looking at the max transfer rate of number of stacks and number of items. It'll tell you in that dashboard, but it won't tell you. It'll tell you max, and it'll tell you what the current rate is that's going, but it won't ever tell you unless you manage it. Unless you manage it on the incoming side. If you deliberately restrict it, I'm only going to give it 200 per minute, and then you make it robust enough to take everything all the time, then it'll only take 200 per minute. But you have to manage it on the incoming side. You can't manage it on the vehicle itself. Okay, I hope that helped.
Kaizen Controller says, I'm in desperate need for a RAM upgrade at 16 gigabytes now and frequently at 93% utilization. Hoping to jump to a 64, but as we've discussed before, RAM has spiked in costs.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we were in the middle of a really long Q&A, but Megalith did come in here with some interesting information earlier.
Okay.
If he's still around, he reposts it. I'd love to get a better look at it. Something about Samsung shooting itself in the foot.
Yeah. I read that in particular because we have a first-time chat from Elwajar who was responding to that, who said, if you need it, you'll pay. If you want to wait until the prices normalize, you'll end up changing your entire PC.
That's true. I mean, if you need it now, you just buy it now, that kind of thing.
Yeah. There have been many times, though, when it's like, oh no, prices are going to skyrocket. And emergency goes out and buys, and then they don't. It's like, you feel like a fool for paying the surge pricing. And it's never an issue.
I had my what do they call that finder thing? The thing set to slugs. And okay, now it's seeing that slug, but it didn't see that slug when I was right up there. Weird.
And Kaizen says, yeah, I'll probably have to bite the bullet.
Yeah, exactly.
It's unfortunately just hard to build a PC with less than 32 now. Mostly because Windows takes up, it's like 6 or 7 gigs now when it's running. Like, Windows alone is already taking up almost half of your RAM.
You know what operating system doesn't take that much RAM?
Oh, here we go again. Yes, it begins with U and ends with
Something
X.
that also functions half the time.
Actually, it begins with L and ends with X. I don't know what happened to Unix. The Linux derivative just took off, and you don't hear about Unix much anymore.
It'd be interesting to go back and build a computer off of Unix, just to see. It'd end up being horribly out of date, but
Yeah, probably by now.
I think it still exists, but at just a specific server deployment.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a Linux fanboy like here.
Nope.
You
are not.
it's funny how Robert and Dad, the moment I switched over to Linux, they wanted to make my entire identity about Linux.
Well,
It's more convenient for them that way.
convenient?
I think it really has to do with the fact that Garrett wants a functioning PC. That's why he uses Linux.
And
Yeah.
he doesn't have a job that can pay for it at the moment.
Yep.
Yep, that is one option. If your programs will function, switching to Linux significantly reduces your RAM load.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Robert's gone AFK for a few moments.
Just a moment, I'm just grabbing my package.
Ooh, Robert got a package. Ooh.
Yeah, Linux is generally a much lighter operating system.
Yep.
Doesn't come with the bloatware that Windows does. Then again, there are Windows installations that you can access that don't have the bloatware, and I have considered going that direction and switching away from Linux. I'm just not quite ready to do that yet.
So what versions of Windows are lighter than Windows?
The one address to Brita was delivered here on this porch.
Okay.
And then this one for you and mine were delivered at your porch.
Interesting. Well, since you don't have a separate address from ours, then,
Yeah.
that's fine. But Britta's, if it had Britta's address on, they should know to go to Britta's house.
Yep.
We might need to set up some signs. It's not overly clear.
No, it's not. Although their GPS does indicate that the house is in the back.
Void script says, first time chat, Linux superiority.
It's okay. I can ban the bot. That's fine.
Wow. No, and I do appreciate Linux for what it is, but if you don't need to have a high level of customizability, going for Windows is the better choice. Linux is a difficult change.
Yep, it has been, hasn't it? What, like, for example, what word processor do you use in your Linux machine?
I used the Google.
So it has support for Google, because it has support for websites, which gets you into the whole world of Google Sheets, Google Docs, and the Google hard drive, the Google Drive.
Mm-hmm,
Interesting. Okay.
And that in and of itself is transferable enough to make Linux quite usable. Then you add the fact that Steam is now built to run on Linux.
Yep.
Given the fact that the Steam Deck runs on Linux.
So you get Satisfactory on Linux just fine.
Mm-hmm. Epic is harder. You have to use something called Heroic Launcher, which provides all the compatibility layers for Epic to function properly. And it doesn't always function very well. Which is unfortunate, but...
Garrett, is the blueprint called Revised Vert Constructor IO?
Yes. And Mr. Wiz asked, did anyone get Linux to run games like Windows? I know that was difficult a few years ago. Well, I was just answering that. Steam does a really good job with Linux, with games on Linux. I can run...
Does the game specifically have to be written for Linux, or do they provide a... How does that happen?
That's a great question.
No. Steam has a proprietary compatibility layer that, well, I don't know if it's proprietary or not, but they built a compatibility layer that works really well at translating from Windows to Linux.
Okay.
If you go on Steam, you can see if they're certified Steam Deck ready or whatever, and so it'll basically tell you on a game by game basis whether they are, and they've done a really good job of making that pretty large number of games.
Mm-hmm. I have not yet had any problems running Steam games on Linux. I've had plenty of problems with Epic games, but no problems with Steam games.
What I understand, the Epic Games compatibility layer is community built, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you get individuals in the community making sure it functions for their favorite game, and that's about it.
Pretty much.
Your revised lifts, do you have to do anything special with them, or just build them and connect them.
Should be able to just build them and connect them. I'm sorry, I didn't add conveyors to the output so that it could automatically connect.
No, that's fine.
If you want to do that, you can.
No, that's super weird.
But yeah, so that was one of my major concerns going to Linux, and Steam has done a lot to help. One Metal Fist says, I'm a console player right now, but in the future I'll be starting university for my degree and I'll need a PC. What worries me is Microsoft's plans for Windows adding ads even for people who already paid for the OS. Having ads running inside your own computer, even when you don't want them, feels pretty wrong, but it seems like they just want more money. And I 100% agree with you on that.
Why? Do you have a web page or a reference page that you could share with us on that change?
Doc is demanding a sauce.
I'm demanding what?
Doc wants his source on that
Yeah,
piece of awful news.
Yeah, that is a truly awful piece of news. And it's, unfortunately, part of the reason why I switched to Linux was because I saw the anti-consumer direction Windows was taking. And it's just, they don't care about making a good experience for the user anymore. They used to, and they used to do a really good job at it, but they don't anymore. And so, yeah, every change is designed to exploit the user more.
Yeah, well, okay. Enough of that, I guess.
Mantrid says, I saw recently that LG televisions got an update that pushes Copilot on them. I don't need an AI assistant on my television. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. AI being pushed to everything. We don't need it.
Is that rain outside?
Yes, sir.
Huh.
By the way, guys, we have a weather warning for
Yes.
later today. High winds, actually. So, if there's any issues with the stream, blame it on the weather.
We've got we've got some, rather interesting weather happening.
Mr. Wiz says, I suppose the real question would be, what flavor of Linux would you suggest?
Not the one Garrett installed.
No, actually, I wouldn't recommend the one that I installed. Now that I have installed Linux, I would personally go for a more generalized one than what I chose. I tried to find one that was already optimized for gaming because I didn't want, not knowing very much about Linux, I didn't want a lot of overhead. But I wish I had just gone for a more general version with better support. Oh, Captain Clink with a donation of $5 says, Azata Doc and team. Keep up the great content.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. That's really, really cool. And appreciated very much. I've got a drone, it's loading, and no destination
We have
target.
a great little Q&A here for you. Yeah.
You do, huh? Okay, let me see.
I'll find it for you and get it put in. It's by Blackthorn.
Yeah. All right,
go,
this
Doc.
is all powered up. It's got a drone, and let's go to the office. Blackthorn says, I'm in the process of mining to smelting to production machines. Out of these steps, which in your opinion is the most optimal to overclock and why? You start by overclocking the miner if you've got enough capacity on the belt. That gets you just more product, more raw materials to turn into a product. And then once you overclock to the max of the belt, then you overclock your machines so that you don't have to build so many machines. So if you can overclock, the beginning machines, then look at how much input you need into the one and, divide it up by the amount that you've got on your belt. if you have a full belt, build a number of machines overclocked that it takes to process all that material. Later on, just leave enough room at the end of the manifold to add more machines as your belt speeds increase and as your need, of course, will increase as well. So leave us a little space at the end of the manifold to add more machines and process more. And you basically overclock things from womb to tomb. Of course, when you get to machines that are making, let's say you're doing iron and you're getting your iron ore overclocked, you bring that in, you can overclock and you can sloop the machines to double your output there too. I wouldn't necessarily double up with sloops the lower level machines, but definitely the more complex items like you have in a manufacturer or you have in a particle accelerator or a blender later on. Slooping those machines really benefits the number of machines you have to build to get the quantities that you need coming out quick. So slooping, especially when you get to the synthetic power shards, is an incredibly optimal way to get the level of production that you need for those later builds. So hope that helps, and let's go back to the game.
Mm-hmm. So one Metal Fist gave a couple of links to the Windows 11 ad issue.
Yeah. I went ahead and brought them up on the screen here.
Okay.
So, yeah, Microsoft now testing app ads in Windows 11 Start menu. And I'll just scroll down to the example they have here in the Start menu. The recommended ones, they include a little box here and just password manager. Save password safely right there. That's an ad. You notice how it's not labeled as an ad. It's just there. It just tells you instead of how frequent used when it was last used, it's just save password safely.
Okay.
So that one's a fairly unobtrusive one. The other one they say Microsoft is testing full screen ads in Windows 11 for expired subscriptions.
Oh.
This one's not as big of an issue though, because it's just a splash screen when you're starting your computer.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Specifically for something you have paid for in the past, which is expiring soon, whatever. When you're starting
that's not really an ad, it's a subscription expiration.
Yeah, so I'm not as mad about that one. This one I dislike, but guess what? I also dislike this entire menu and all the recommended. I never use this. Ever. Whatsoever.
So you wouldn't see it.
I only... And that's part of the reason why you see my taskbar so full of stuff. You can't see my desktop. My desktop is also full of links because I don't use the Start menu because the Start menu in Windows 11 is a bad experience.
It sucks. Yeah.
So...
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They've tried to cram way too much into it. That said, I use the Start menu in Linux all the time. It is my main way of interacting with my Linux PC.
Because otherwise you'd have to use the command line.
Look.
Sure, but the Start menu is a genuinely good experience.
Oh, okay. Good.
Hello, Kelly. Come on.
And Elwajar also notes that OpenOffice exists. It's free, and it's not Google. So.
I think I tried OpenOffice, and I didn't care for it. It didn't work very well.
Yeah, it is not as good as Google.
Yeah.
But it's also not Google, which is a positive.
Yeah, my kitty cat's come to say hi. She's trying to settle down. She had a full night of hunting. So...
Well, she deserves it then.
Yeah. She's a sleepy cat.
I'm not a cat fan, but that cat is alright in my books.
Yeah, she earns her keep.
Okay, I found a geothermal place to put a geothermal plant on.
Very nice.
And Corman asks, what do you all mean by the start menu? How is it different from the desktop?
The start menu, here. The start menu is this thing. And
I think he's being sarcastic, but
yeah. I'm sure he's meaning the desktop. That's why I laughed. Because I watch some people's desktops and they're just all icons from border to border.
Windows XP had the best start menu experience, and you can fight me on that one.
Yeah.
It was the best.
I mean, it just brought up a file menu that specifically pointed to your programs. And away you went. You didn't have to worry about trying to navigate anywhere else.
He says he was serious.
Oh.
Sure.
Yeah. On Linux, or the start, or at least on the distribution that I'm using, it is a list of favorites, so I can favorite a program and it'll show up on the list. A frequently used list, which I don't use that part, and then a search bar, and that's it.
Okay, I need a few more electromagnetic.
Wow, it's
control
crazy that, a system that's supposed to help you launch programs puts the programs on the front that you use and allows you to find programs to use. That's
Right.
such a weird concept.
Yeah. Why did Microsoft forget that concept?
I'm sorry, I don't want my games stored alphabetically with my productivity programs.
Yeah.
I don't want to search for, what's the company name that made a certain program, so I can find the alphabetical list and search down and sort out. No, I'm sorry. If I want to play a particular game, I want it at the top of the list. I want to sort it the way I want to sort it. I want to sort
what
it. What
is this thing I see off to the right? Do you see that, Robert?
That.
That line? Oh, it just disappeared as I got closer.
Huh.
Am I going to make it?
Windows XP was the best OS. I'll die on that hill with you, brother. Yes, that's Robert. That's me that said that.
I didn't make it.
Yeah, and see, James Hughes also agreed. Like, there's a lot of good quality of life improvements since then that I'll take. I love multiple tabs in File Explorer. A lot of that kind of stuff. That's great. The docking and stuff in the corners of your screens, that's great. Keep that. Throw out everything else.
Yeah. And you can put back the caching for file menus, file lists, metadata on your files, please. You know what I mean?
Can you... I actually don't understand. What are you referencing?
When you go and look at your files, it takes forever.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually,
it does on Windows.
There was a big controversy, okay? Or at least it came out. The boot up process, they take extra time in the boot up process to start File Manager before Windows begins, because the load time is so long, because it's become so bloated. They actually start loading it before you can get into Windows, because people complain about File Explorer taking so long.
Wow.
And rather than just build a better File Explorer.
Right.
Exactly. Come on.
Which is insane that a File Explorer, the most basic function of an operating system,
is to deliver files to you.
Yeah.
Deliver information to you first so you can choose a file. Call up the file after you get there, but load the metadata at least. My heaven's sakes, folks.
Two Robs make it right.
Two Robs make it right? Okay.
I think Captain One Eye is a Robert as well.
Okay. All right.
Somebody, by the way, a little bit ago asked, what distribution do you choose on Linux? I'm just parroting what somebody else said, somebody else who I generally trust who does tech stuff. They said it doesn't matter what distro you go with at first. It really doesn't. Distros in Linux are not the same thing as, what version of Windows you get. If you get Home versus Pro or whatever else, you're locked into it. With Linux, you get one distro, and then you go through the commands in the command line, and now suddenly the distro is customized entirely for you. Garrett takes his current distro. He can, with a single command, remove his Epic launcher and his Steam launcher, and now it's pretty much a bare bones system, right?
Distro?
Yeah.
What's a distro?
It's a distribution, and all a distribution of Linux is Linux packaged with a couple of other programs that come with it.
Oh.
Usually
I thought
with
you were
its own
saying
UI.
disco. You know, that you're going to the disco. And I'm going, you don't dance.
Yeah. No, I do not.
Garrett does, but you don't.
Garrett dances?
Yeah. We
I
have
suppose he
pictures
does.
of him on the couch.
Yeah, I guess he does.
Yeah, I guess he does.
He still might have a hard time finding me at the disco.
Uh-huh.
Well, there's no couches at the disco. How can he dance on the couch?
Okay. I need to build refineries. I need to build a refinery to make
Panic at the distro. How about that? Yeah.
Jay Fallen says, I can't hear distribution without getting statistics flashbacks.
oh dear.
Yeah, One Metal Fist echoes a concern that I have. What worries me is that this feels like just the beginning. They start small so people get used to seeing ads, then slowly expand them into bigger and more intrusive places. Once users are conditioned to accept it, ads can end up anywhere, even in the middle of your screen.
Well, they did that with games.
Mm-hmm.
And now the big advertising for the best games is you see no ads.
Yeah.
You know, and basically, if I'm gonna play a game, I'm not there to give them ad revenue. I'm there to relax. Come on, you know.
Hey, Megalith. Glad you're here. We actually, I called out a little bit ago. If you could repost what you said, I wanted to read it out. We were just busy at the moment.
All right, so we're making sulfuric acid here, folks. And what is the quantity you're going to need? You're going to need 50 water, so okay, and 50 sulfur per minute. So every 6 of these I need water. How much sulfuric acid do I need? What was the need for sulfuric acid for?
James Hughes Duckworth says, are you trying to get sponsored by Linux here?
Not.
Yeah, of course. We'd instantly take that sponsorship if they offered.
See, the best part about Linux is that it's a massive conglomerate with lots of marketing capital that they like to spend on people all the time.
I want a monster I want a monster sponsorship.
Yeah.
That's
the sponsorship I want.
And he says 100% agree that XP was the best Windows experience. Mm-hmm. Just because the new ones have more features, even good features, doesn't mean the experience is as good.
Agreed.
Then File Explorer is probably so bloated because of the reporting systems built in, constantly scanning, uploading, and reporting your entire hard drive that they've massively overcomplicated it.
It makes you wonder, all the security updates that they've given, how many of those are stomping on each other? And by the way, the reason I'm building more power is because these are getting frighteningly close together. This line is between my max production and my usage. I always like to keep this line above max production, just in case someday all of a sudden a bunch of my machines start to fire off and start getting going.
As will happen very, very soon.
Hopefully not too soon. And too soon would be regulated by whether or not it blows the circuit.
So yeah, on that note, somebody was asking what you were doing today.
I am building a nuke power plant.
Yeah.
So if that's of interest to you, hang tight. You're going to see some nuke power plants here.
Grim
Start rising.
subscribed, and he says, Merry Christmas.
All right. Subscribe to
Christmas
Tier
to
1
you
again.
as well.
Good. And 12 months long, Grim. Thank you so much.
Is that the first time we've seen a 12
4,
month?
5, 6,
sub?
7, 8, 9, 10.
Amazing.
Oh,
I don't know if that's the first time.
So
that can't be. There's no.
I'm going to let Robert read out Megalith's
Oh,
comments.
yeah. So he says first, Samsung announced that they will stop producing SATA SSDs. Second, Samsung refused to sell RAM and SSD chips to Samsung.
Samsung refused to sell it to themselves?
Yeah. They have multiple sub-companies inside of the company. So Samsung Electronics are responsible for producing home gadgets, RAM and storage chips, etc., while Samsung itself is responsible for making phones, watches, and headphones. Samsung wanted to order RAM and storage from Samsung Electronics, which refused with the reason that we don't have any available stock to give away.
The giveaway.
Oh,
That's
Congram
not
was our
generally
first
the
sub.
way it works.
Uh-oh. My game just crashed.
Uh-oh.
Congram was our first sub, so you know what that means, Doc.
Oh, what's that?
We've been on Twitch for 1 year.
That's right. He's one of the
One of those OGs.
founding members, huh? We've been on Twitch for 1 year. We started in December.
Huh.
Mhm.
It finally caught up to you, Garrett. You crashing.
All right. Did you get the short done you wanted to, Robert?
I did. It is finished. It is uploaded. I am currently working on a black site project right now.
Yeah, one of those black sites, yes. I understand that.
Yeah. Cornman says, did y'all hear that NVIDIA is cutting graphics card production by 40% in 2026?
Yep.
Yep.
I do note, by the way, that NVIDIA does not produce very many graphics cards.
No.
They produce a ton of chips that they sell to other people who produce a whole ton. They're cutting their own production.
Yeah. Unless you're getting the Founders Edition video cards, you won't be impacted, really.
You will be impacted by the fact that they're all being bought up by AI companies, but not directly. It'll be an indirect effect.
Nice news.
One Metal Fist says, have you heard that Sony said it wants to go after people who use cheats or jailbreak their PlayStation? The claim is that if someone's caught doing illegal things with their console, Sony would want their internet provider to cut their internet service entirely, not just ban the account.
What?
Oh my! We're gonna need a link to that as well.
Let's see a source for that one.
Need to hear more details on that one. That's so dumb. First up, I hate cheating in games. I hate modding games. Whatever. But it's a game.
Yeah, that's a game. Come on, guys. It's a game.
Jay Fallen says cheats are legal, hacks, however, are not. And I actually want to point out that hacks are perfectly legal.
Okay.
Hacks are not are against the terms and services, but in response, they can close your account.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Just close your account.
Let's also define hacks as... Okay. Not a hack as in injecting malware into Sony's online system to allow something.
Exactly.
That's illegal.
That.
Yeah.
Right? If we're talking about a hack as in a cheat by another name.
That's where it separates the men from the boys. I mean, you start injecting malware. Okay, why can't I have the input come from out there? It's not turning.
Is this the output or the input?
That's the output. Gosh, why do I do that? Why do I do that?
And Gongram points out that Sony already lost the lawsuit years ago with a guy who was teaching people to jailbreak PS3s.
Well, then there's already precedent for dismissing the lawsuit.
Yeah.
Yep.
This
I mean, if you
December
if,
1st.
if you're only destroying your own hardware, then leave them alone.
Interesting. So they want to claim that service providers are complicit in online piracy.
Piracy. Now we're not talking about just jailbreaking
Yeah.
or stuff like that. We're talking about getting in and stealing the code so you can then distribute it yourself. That's illegal. Period.
Yeah,
There's
but it's
no question there.
what they're
playing crack
claiming
games or
is
whatever.
that service providers, so internet service providers, are complicit in piracy because they provide internet to pirates, and that demands, by its very definition, that ISPs start surveilling their customers.
Yeah. No go.
So, I know this is a very lateral comparison, so I don't know how well it would work, especially in U.S. law. There have been lawsuits against gun manufacturers for making guns that
Ultimately
are used for crimes, and typically those don't go anywhere. However, there have been companies who have preemptively reacted and made changes to their guns or their sales or whatever else, to try to prevent that from going through the courts. So
just so they don't have to pay for all of the lawsuit level stuff.
Yeah,
right?
Probably. I would imagine that you cannot. Yeah, that won't go anywhere. But
yeah, it's like trying to sue the government because they built the roads that
Somebody got
some
into an
robbers
accident on.
used to escape the bank from.
wait, so we could sue the government for building roads?
No,
dude,
you can't.
Dude, that would be perfect. It's like it's a perfect loop.
Legalogian says, sorry, Sony, I bought the PlayStation. I own
Yeah.
the thing. You own the service. I
It
can do
is
whatever I want with my stuff. And
This
you
case is absolutely not going to be upheld in the United States.
But
Absolutely not.
And
when you're a
EU
$1
might be
billion
crazy
company,
enough.
you can put a lot of pain on people, and a whole lot of companies will say, you know what, we're just going to do what you want because the pain of the lawsuit's too much.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you start suing individuals that don't have deep pockets enough to defend
Yeah.
themselves. And that's the bitter irony of the whole thing.
You missed one.
Did I miss one? Yes, I sure did.
Corman says, Robert, we need them to fix the roads. They already claim they don't have the money to fix potholes. Yeah.
Mark says, how's the nuclear fission coming, Doc? Remember, don't sneeze.
Don't sneeze? I can't even sneeze
Uh-oh.
anymore? Uh-oh, what?
My game crashed again.
Well, will you just please settle down,
I'd like to.
slow down, drive the speed limit so you don't crash?
So the newest model is out, and Megalith has been playing with it, Gemini 3.
Uh-huh.
And he says it's actually scarily good at coding now, which has been interesting.
So
And-
is the Gemini AI kind of specializing on making sure coding works?
I don't know. That's a good question. I honestly, out of all the tasks that AI is trying to do, other than somebody used it or somebody put it out that search result came from AI. AI is great at just finding general news articles, stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
General knowledge. But I think programming is probably one of the top tasks it's going to be able to do.
Mhm.
Do at a college degree level, I'll say. It can't replicate college degree writing. It can't.
It better not.
Nope.
Not yet, at least.
I can absolutely attest that it cannot do good writing at all.
So
I tried.
Oh.
I really wish that I could just offload half my job to AI, but
Not
No.
gonna happen, huh?
it's not going to happen.
I'm actually glad to hear that because,
Mhm.
yeah.
I used to be really worried about AI taking my job to some degree. But
Not anymore. It's just not good enough. Donald Grimm says, I'm looking for the, Donald Grimm says, I'm not sure where you live, but in the U.S., SCOTUS,
The Supreme Court. Yeah.
has made several rulings like Impression Products versus Lexmark that established that once you buy a patented product, it's yours to use, sell, or even modify, limiting patent holders' control after the first sale.
Yeah. But they have had to make rulings on getting companies to allow people to fix their machines. Oddly enough.
Right to repair is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually fairly optimistic that the rules concerning right to repair are going to be improved in the fairly near term.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I think we're going to win that one.
Yeah. And it's... Yeah.
And it's what?
Oh, it's just big companies are using their position to force people into buying products that are bad for them,
Well,
rather than giving the people the products that they actually want.
okay, there's an article the One Mental Fist just pasted. If you could give the executive brief on that one, I'd appreciate it.
Here's billion-dollar battle over online piracy.
Uh-huh.
Oh, this looks like an update to the previous one. It was upheld by a federal appeals court, which federal appeals courts are all over the place nowadays.
Okay, but what was upheld? What decision was upheld?
Cox Communication, third largest broadband provider in the U.S. and a party in the case, faces a $1 billion penalty awarded by a jury to Sony Music Entertainment and other media companies that sued over the distribution, and it was held by the federal appeals court. The company is asking the justices to toss out the verdict and put limits on contributory liability. Yeah. There is absolutely no way that functions. It's insane that it got past the first. Yeah, Cox says it opposes copyright infringement and takes steps to prevent it, but it cannot be held responsibility for the actions of individual users who are impossible to pinpoint and trace.
Right. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
This.
If the judgment is upheld, Cox says it could go bankrupt, potentially eliminating internet access entirely in some communities and leading to mass evictions from the internet in places where piracy has been suspected, such as homes, barracks, hospitals, and hotels, upon a bare accusation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And this completely destroys the idea of innocent until proven guilty. Right? It's just beyond ridiculous.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I genuinely don't think it'll make it through the Supreme Court.
I would rather see it not even make it to the Supreme Court.
We'll see.
These lower courts have got to start getting some common sense.
I read through the rest of the article, and it might be a much narrower argument that they're making than what it sounds like on the cover.
Okay.
It looks like they're trying to make a very narrow argument that in this case there was specific foreknowledge and they enabled it by their actions. It's not a passive, we didn't surveil them enough. So I'm looking a little bit deeper into it.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think it's the responsibility of ISPs to do any of that.
Well, if it is narrow, like Robert is saying, it may end up being a situational thing where the law, the ruling could not be extensible to all people who pirate, but just to the ISP was approached to put to put a line in specifically where to a data center or a business that they should have investigated better, yada yada, that kind of stuff.
Is it their responsibility to investigate these things in the first place? There are some things that they're just public services.
It would put a lot of overhead on top of their business. That's absolutely true.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but that's police work. And they're having to do preemptive police work on every user. And I just don't see that being possible.
Yeah. So, not one that we want to see going against the company. Okay, I can optimize the front end, the connections, but not good at the UI design. Yeah. You know, I read a kind of a humorous book. It was a book about IT, and basically it was literally titled "The Inmates Are Running the Asylum," and it talked about programmers, and it talked about user interfaces, and how programmers are tending to dictate what users experience, aka Microsoft, that kind of thing. We've been having quite the discussion on Microsoft and how they're kind of throwing things out even though we don't like them and doing whatever they want. Anyway, and then later on I realized I installed a program called the Action Request System for our facilities management crew. And at Boeing, the facilities management is, worldwide. So this was a software that was going to manage everything, ticketing systems and, how well the jobs are, done and, how fast the tickets are closed and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, found out that the author touted their experience in creating the user interface for the Action Request System. And honestly, that had to be about the worst user interface that I have ever seen. And all of a sudden, his credibility in the book that I cited in my dissertation went incredibly far down, in my opinion, because the Action Request System was awful. It was terrible. So when you talk about creating UIs, it must be pretty difficult, because he sure missed on that one as far as I was concerned.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I also think that a good AI for a developer is different from a good UI for a user.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm 20 pages deep into this 60-page legal brief going before the Supreme Court. Okay.
Wow.
And I can read to you the section that they're talking about specifically. Okay. Cox Internet is receiving DMCA takedown notices. Okay. They're receiving.
And what is DMCA for those?
The Digital Millennium Copyright Act. That's what outlines what fair use is, and outlines how people can say, "Hey, you're showing my content on your webpage, or spreading or sharing my content. You need to take it down." Okay. So through the DMCA, Cox has received those copyright notices. Okay. So this is what the accusation says. So this is not determined fact. This is an accusation against Cox. It says that Cox initially gave identified infringers, so people who have received copyright notices, 3 strikes before terminating their account. But over time, that's swelled to 10, then 12, then ultimately 13 strikes, all while simultaneously watering down the consequences of striking out from mandatory termination to discretionary termination to now just a stern warning. And in practice, 13 strikes could really mean thousands, owing to Cox's disinterest in enforcing its unusually lenient policy. For example, they only count 1 strike per day, no matter how many actual reports they receive. So any individual who is looking to enforce their copyright policy, their own copyright, and files a whole bunch of claims in one day against people they found, only 1 gets accepted per day.
Even though they have dozens of operators that are violating it, you're not talking about 1 per violator.
Each user only gets 1 per day. Okay, so if that user comes in and steals every single movie made by Disney on one day, downloads every single Disney movie, that's 1 strike. Okay. Instead of 1 per video. Okay. And they say, and Cox would only take action against the first 300 copyright notices they received in any given day. Okay. And if you did not hit 13 strikes within 6 months, they reset it to 0. So basically, Cox had a duty, according to the DMCA, to terminate accounts that were continually violating copyright, and they did not do that.
So,
this isn't about surveillance. This is about proper responding to reporting techniques that have been established by law.
Yeah. Okay.
So, there we go. That's where this is coming from. That's the accusation. This is not verified fact at all.
Alrighty. Just fixing my pipes. Then I'll power up the generators and get to making some sulfuric acid here.
We've got quite the argument about this in the comments.
Really?
I'll abbreviate some of them. Meech says the ISP has to block the user IP address until the issue is resolved. And Gonalgrim claims Cox is tantamount to a public square. They're protected by Section 230. They're a publisher. They do not have the obligation to terminate. Section 230 says, no provider or user of an interactive computer service shall be treated as the publisher or speaker of any information provided by another information content provider.
They're actually a platform, not a publisher. A publisher has editorial control, and the publisher is liable for the content of their platform.
Where a content provider is not.
Yeah. So, but yes, he had the concept right. So.
Mm-hmm. Meech says, I've worked for another major ISP dealing with accounts that have been flagged. We need to get notice from both parties before IP address is restored.
Notice from both parties. Okay. Parties being...
both the people who have the infringing content and the people who are the copyright holders.
Oh, to make sure it's been taken down?
Interesting. I wonder how that works with, based on what we see on YouTube, where according to YouTube, it's just the content's just gone. Maybe that's the workaround, is we just remove the content to prevent from having to block anything. But then again, he's also talking at the ISP level, not at the domain level.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
It's like, it feels like it doesn't... That's not a matter that involves the ISP at all. the ISP is providing internet, and they provide internet for whoever pays. Period. It's between the copyright holder and the copyright infringer.
Yeah. Okay.
At least it seems like that's the way it should be.
I like keeping it at the domain level, because if you want to talk about the holder versus the infringer, I'm sorry, I write a book, I sell it as a digital PDF, people pirate it, the point where I don't get any sales because everybody's just stealing the content, whatever. I have to go and track down every single thief on my own. I have to serve them notices on my own. I have to sue them on my own, all because they're a 13-year-old kid in their parents' basement stealing stuff. That's not feasible. That puts the onus so much on anybody who creates content. At least being on the domain level allows for is a little bit more equitable, I guess. I don't know. Does that make any sense?
I suppose I see what you're saying.
I struggle with it being on the ISP level though, because that doesn't cut off the affected content. That cuts off the ability for people to use the internet at all. But also, are we talking about ISPs that are hosting websites, or are we talking about the ISPs for consumers?
The ISP seemed to claim that I don't know.
Okay.
It could be just referring to websites, but the judgment could very well put Cox out of business, and some communities will lose internet access entirely if that happens.
Well,
Now that said, I highly
No.
doubt that the courts will force them to pay up immediately, and will allow them to get business in order either by selling off their contracts and infrastructure,
yeah.
or through some other methods to prevent people from going down like that.
Yeah, they just sell it off. Nobody would actually lose anything.
Gonalgrave's like, you mean like blaming Smith & Wesson for someone committing a crime with their product?
Exactly. That's kind of where it goes, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and I cited that pretty early on.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, some dumb companies, firearms manufacturers, are scared enough they're redesigning everything, trying to get ahead of that sort of thing. There was just an issue with Glock where they discontinued a significant portion of their models because the switch has become so ubiquitous that they just redesigned everything because they didn't want their firearms to be designated as readily convertible to being automatics. And so they changed their design in fear of that. Similar concepts, not quite the same, but...
Okay.
Not that it helped. The Switch was made for it
yeah.
within a week.
Oh, it was in the Ninth Circuit? Oh, well, then we can just throw it out entirely.
Yeah, no kidding.
Ninth Circuit's not agreeing with the current Supreme Court. Sorry. You have a conservative majority Supreme Court, and you have a Ninth Circuit liberal. It's liberal Ninth Circuit. They're just going to always disagree no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, really, Gonogram?
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Especially if it was the Ninth Circuit that ruled. I 100% believe that they ruled in the favor of Sony.
Cornman, I've been wanting a flipper immediately. As soon as I heard about it, I've been wanting one.
A flipper? What's a flipper?
Let me pull it up. It's an electronic device. It's every little handheld hacking device you've ever seen in any spy movie all in one. It can steal Wi-Fi passwords. It can figure out what the frequency it is you
An
use to
internet
open.
sniffer?
Yeah,
basically?
it can figure out what frequency you use to open your garage door. It does so many little tricks like that, and quite a number of them completely illegal, but it also looks like so much fun. The kind of cool stuff it can do. They're a little expensive, especially for me living in the absolute middle of nowhere. But if you were walking down the street in New York City and you had one in your pocket, you could... Yeah.
In other words, it's something that should be illegal?
No.
No, honestly, a lot of those functions are illegal when done in the wrong circumstance, but most of them are quite legal when done in the right circumstance.
I think the problem is, like, for your average garage door, that's an analog signal being sent over radio waves. Right? There's nothing encrypted. In fact, there's been a number of stories of people who install a new garage door and they find out that their garage door has the same frequency as their neighbors.
Yes.
You know?
I had that problem with our garage door in O'Fallon.
Oh, yeah?
I kept on opening the neighbors across the street while I was testing it. And they came out wondering, why in the world? I thought I closed that. We finally figured out that it was... I needed to reprogram my new garage door so that it...
And you could fix that entirely by requiring a small code to be sent over radio to actually trigger the door.
Okay.
Not that that's something that individuals can do very easily, but it would be very easy for the garage door companies to do it.
It was too funny, though. You remember Ralph, don't you?
Yeah, he was a good guy.
It was his garage door.
Oh, no. Did he know what was going on?
Yes, he came out and investigating it, wondering what in the world is going on. And then I kind of saw him musing over there and realized that he's musing over his garage door. And every time I punched mine, and his did something that mine should have been doing. And
and the two of you figured it out.
the two of us.
Oh,
figured
that's so
it out.
funny.
It was funny, yes.
One Metal Fist says the bigger problem is that many people turn to piracy because companies keep pushing prices higher without hesitation. Competition disappears as big companies buy smaller ones, and streaming services keep raising prices and adding annoying restrictions. People get tired of paying more and more just to watch shows. Yeah. It was just fine when you could buy one cheap Netflix subscription and get access to everything. But we don't want cable back again.
So, I've been kind of musing that whole thing for a while. The commonly held definition of a monopoly, or at least a bad monopoly that, gets broken up by the government, is when you have a majority hold on a market and then use the power of that monopoly to affect another market. The classic example is Microsoft owning the vast majority of the operating system market during the browser wars of the 90s, then making it really hard for you to remove Internet Explorer, and anytime you try to open Netscape Navigator, it did some other hokey stuff telling you how bad it was or something. I can't remember the specifics. And that was ruled to be unfair monopoly. I don't know what the exact terminology is. And so they're fine for that. In this, what we have is, instead of companies needing to produce a good product in order to win support from, win customers, they're so large that they're able to exert their sheer size in making changes that nobody can change, that nobody can fight against because they are the only player in the market.
Uh-huh.
When the only player in the market or the massive player in the market does something, nobody can change it ever. Nobody is large enough to make an impact. It's not directly a monopoly thing, but it's related to, right?
Uh-huh.
Anyway, I don't have the legal language to explain it, but it feels like there's some legal issues there. Turn out. Sounds very Louis Rossby. Dude,
So-
Louis Rossman is awesome. I love everything the guy makes. I wholeheartedly support his opinion.
How did we deal with this, Robert?
What's that?
Before, in our last power plant? Making the encased uranium cell that goes into the uranium fuel rod
Yeah.
has a byproduct of sulfur. So it uses it. You input 8 and it only uses 6.
Yeah.
Did we just reroute the 2 back in
Yep.
and prayed that it would work?
We fed it 6, and we left half of them off until the pipes filled up,
Uh-huh.
then turned on the rest as it went. So we supplied enough for, 12 blenders or whatever,
Uh-huh.
but left like 4 of them off. So really we were providing them more than enough. But then as they came on up, we turned on the other ones to start consuming the rest of it and created a loop.
Okay. So. Okay. Okay, fine. So right now I am making sulfuric acid in the quantity of 12 times 50 or 70, 700. 12 times 50? Okay, so why is that not getting enough water? See, because I haven't overclocked them to 300. I expected them to be overclocked.
Didn't you just come default overclocked?
Yeah, they should. They should just do 300. Okay, and next one that's being used is this one. Yes, they
Robert,
should-
I'm gonna do the conveyors under your factory.
Okay, yep. All the above ground stuff should be done. The new blueprint seems to be functioning just fine.
Cool.
It's of course completely untested, so we'll see.
Well, it worked really well on mine.
Okay.
Did you make some alterations to it?
Nope.
Here we go with pipe problems again. I really dislike this.
So what's going on?
Okay, technically I need 600 total. I've got 12 machines running 50, the need for 50 water each.
Yep.
Okay? So technically 12 machines should use 600. Okay? And I've got 3 machines doing 300 each.
So what's the problem?
They're not filling up.
I think your pumps are too high. I think your pumps are like right at that height or too high.
They would not go any lower.
Okay.
So do I need to move these back so that they've got more of an
because
angle
they're
so they
hitting
can go
the-
lower?
They were hitting the.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think that's what's going on because the lift typically gets just about to the top of the machine.
Mm-hmm. And they're only kind of wimpily running. I mean, they're going...
Yeah. You see how they're completely full? Those pipes are completely full, but the ones above them are empty.
Yeah, the ones above them are empty, but why would it be
That's-
full here and I get a Mark II pump that pumps it a lot higher than just here? Why wouldn't they be full? Okay. There's no answer
No.
other than that.
Water tower?
No, just put the pumps lower.
Yeah, I gotta put the pump
Yeah,
lower.
just give it a shot. Just move one. Just move one. Try that one. See how it works.
Here. One Metal Fist says, even Warner Brothers, once a giant lion in the industry, ended up being swallowed by Netflix dominance.
So based on the fact that it wouldn't,
Well, that's pointed the wrong direction.
I was spinning my wheel.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I can put it
No.
right.
Put it,
What?
just put as low as you can put it. No reason to have it up there.
And of course, you have to be back a ton ways to find where the. Yeah, it goes
Yeah.
all the way up.
There you go. So Mark says, all them locations of spheres, and you have two suns that are well capable to join into the game and find them. The logic does not compute, Doc. The AI is keeping the stream running, but idle hands of the devil's workshop.
Got a question for you.
Yeah.
Where did you, Mark in particular? Where did you get the coordinates from? Did you get them from outside the game? Because none of the coordinates were working. The first one I tried was off in the part of the map that was off, in places where you die. So when I put it in the in-game one.
Okay, did that one thing work, Dad? Oh, they need to be powered.
It's powered.
Is
Oh,
the
that's
pump.
not powered. Okay.
Oh, I do the
One Metal Fist says, maybe you assembled the pump upside down.
Well,
Oh no, the pump's running backwards. It's filling up the ocean.
I'll be right back.
yeah, be sure of that.
Here. Yeah, Mark. He had to run away as soon as you mentioned that he should join the game and help you. He's afraid. Oh, J Fallen redeemed Productive Packer Deluxe.
Can we refund him?
Oh, why would I do that?
I really don't want to go all the way home. I mean, I'm a long ways from home.
Mark says, when I found each of the spheres, I brought out the map and looked directly at the Mercer sphere. Got the location that way. Did the same for the summer soups. That way it gives a direct POI.
The in-game map?
Yeah, I'm wondering if those are some locations you've found them before. I'm betting that's what's happening.
Well, the top location that you see on the screen right now, the 42, 53, 32, 38 is off the map. So that's the struggle I'm having.
Yeah, I bet you that first one, his mouse got knocked off the map. You're absolutely right about that one. The other ones look fine though. gosh, I can't do this. I can't do this. This whole thing's gotta be rebuilt.
What thing's got to be rebuilt?
I'm building a blueprint for Foundries, and I foolishly left way too much space.
Oh,
I need to make it much more compact.
much more compact. Okay.
What I need to do is pull up the assembler one we made. That one was a little compact.
Yes, that one was really nice.
You guys will get to see the magic that Doc put together on that one
Yeah.
in the next long form video that comes out. And
Okay.
Doc Holmes just became a member on YouTube.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Let's
Jay-
see.
Jay Fallen says the whole point of Productive Factory Deluxe is so you go home.
It's so that I go home. So that I've got to transport myself back out here and run and run and...
Okay. I see pipes filling.
Okay, good. We're seeing pipes filling. Good.
Okay.
Which, if it means, if we're seeing pipe... Okay. We got it. Which means that these ought to be up and running. Okay. Okay, and they're filling these pipes up, of course. Now, the next item that needs... It's the blenders level. And so we need the... Okay, we're doing the encased uranium cell at this point. So I need concrete production out here. Which means I really have to go play Productive Packer Deluxe. Because I need to grab some concrete from there to bring out here.
Okay. There you
So-
go. 2 birds, 1 stone.
2 birds, 1 stone. All of a sudden I've got a reason to
Look at
be...
that. You're
Yeah.
trying to make him be unproductive, and he decided to make it productive anyway. Sheesh.
Okay, now...
No, you don't understand. It's called productive packer. It can't be unproductive packer.
We all know that just by naming it, it becomes that thing. That's how it works with all
Yes.
sorts of things, including political organizations. You know.
Okay.
No, we're not going there.
Okay. We've got 50 coming. I should be able to put all this in one pipe, shouldn't I? Wait a minute.
First time chat from Ammo Gus says, "Yo Doc, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. I'm currently making my factory look better."
Okay. I don't have to have 2
Awesome.
pipes. I don't have to have 2 pipes. I got 12 machines. I've got 50 coming out and 300, 600 going into a pipe.
Mark says he enjoys watching other people struggle with pipe mechanics while he himself is playing the game and struggling with pipe mechanics.
Yeah, no kidding. Thank you for admitting that you struggle as well. I appreciate that.
It's not just me. I feel seen.
Yeah, no kidding. Not just me. I feel vindicated.
Legal says, best blueprint of mine is full aluminum production times 2 in a single blueprint. 4 refineries and 12 smelters. Holy cow.
A single blueprinter, huh?
Yeah. So... Okay, so Mark says that all the ones he gave you there are in the Rocky Desert. In the rocky area of the desert. So
Okay.
you might have picked up a few of them.
Okay, so I've got 600 coming out of this pipe. If there's 6, if it goes 6 per blender, with 2 residual coming back into the pipe, then then I can make 6. Why am I having trouble? I can make 100. I can make 100 blenders. I don't know that I want to make 100 blenders. Do you? And if I overclock them 250%, if I overclock them 250%, okay. Okay, so then they use 15. So then I can take 600 divided by 15. And I can make 40. 40 blenders, fully overclock.
That sounds a little better.
Yep. 4 blenders, and that'll give me a good number of, I'll figure out the number of capsules it gives me. Then I can figure out how many rods it'll make, and then I can figure out how many nuclear power plants I can make out of those rods. And then, of course, it'll tell me how much water that I need, which you need a ton of water for those nuclear power plants to keep cooled. Okay, very good. I'm going to take a quick stretch break. Just stand off to the side and stretch for just a bit, and then I'm going to go, I'm going to go...
Play Productive Packer?
I'm going to go back home so I can play Productive Packer.
Wow, that's the best part of the day.
Yep. Oh, yeah, right. What best part of the day, huh?
What, Cornman? What? Oh, are you pro Clippy? Oh, 100%. What do you mean, fake? It just took me a while to respond. I was working on something. I haven't kept up with the latest Louis Rossman stuff, but I watched him, up to a couple of years ago. Quite enjoy what he's pushing for. In fact, one of my favorite, just put in the, streams to put in the back, and just chill and watch, or videos, I guess, is, what's his name? Anyway, he just does console repairs, and that's it. He just repairs consoles, old consoles. I get to watch old games and, enjoy seeing somebody put those back together and wish it was profitable.
Okay. Is the stream... I think I need to refresh the stream.
Is it frozen on your end?
Yeah. The Twitch one is frozen on my end.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we haven't dropped any frames or anything.
Yep.
Now I'll do the fact that I couldn't recall the name of his...
I'm not getting very, very far on my nuclear power plant.
Well, it's nuclear power. It takes a while.
Well, the problem is, are you going to pump the breaker before I get done with the power plant? To make sure that
because most of these aren't turning on.
What?
Most of these aren't turning on.
Because of?
Because they get just backed up and they're done.
Oh. Well, I guess that's good.
As soon as we get it all running, though, it won't stop for 3 days.
Exactly. And I'm
Scorpio says it's 15 blenders. They take 40 sulfuric acid per.
Say that again. What?
He's saying, Scorpio says it's only 15 blenders because they take 40 sulfuric acid per.
Yeah, 15 will use all the sulfuric acid he's making, but he will need a few extra for the byproduct.
Interesting. So why was I figuring... Okay.
Yeah, it looks like
I was
we need to
figuring
double
out.
check some math.
Yep, looks like it. Alrighty. Let's start the game.
Yeah, Cornman says, I'm broke right now. I had to start paying rent.
Uh-oh.
It comes for us all.
Okay.
Doc might actually have to open up the modeler and get it modeled.
Might have to. Might
And-
have to.
Pinhead Larry just subscribed with Prime.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Jay Follett says, "Oh no, adulting. It's the worst."
Yeah, no
And Zach
kidding.
says, "It is the worst." You have only sympathy coming from the people here.
Yep, only sympathy. Because all of us have been there, done that.
You know, there was a particular movie I watched as a kid, which anybody my age has seen many times. And it opened up with a scene that was supposed to, you know, evoke a different feeling. But in the movie Hook, and the opening scene of Hook, which is old now, rest in peace, Robin Williams. The opening scene of Hook was them at the kids' play, where they're putting on a Peter Pan show, and the kids are singing, "I don't want to grow up." Yuck.
Wow, I only got 596 points. What's going on? Wow.
Blame your mouse, quick. Blame your mouse. It's a higher level. It's more difficult.
Okay, it's gotta be. Gotta be.
Gunnelgrim says, "I don't know.
Donald Grimm says what?
I don't know. I get to sit home, drink adult beverages, smoke cigars, and play with puppies. Adulting has its upsides."
Well,
Yes.
okay.
It does.
Today is the 16th, 18th, and 18 is up here. So what did I get today? And I got FICSMAS board leftovers. You have unlocked FICSMAS board leftovers.
We should listen to that. I don't
Okay.
know.
Every copy of this tape. How does it keep turning up? No matter. Ignore it. There's nothing interesting on it anyway. Okay, just
I
because
think we need to listen to that.
I think we need to, yes. Why is it not even letting me close this?
Wouldn't it be funny if it forced her to sing it
Have-
directly?
Wait, have you done 17?
Yeah, I did 17.
Oh, okay.
It wouldn't let me do 18 if I didn't do 17. Yeah, let me show you. 17 was where? 18, 16, 17. Was right here on the band.
Oh, okay.
And I got snowballs for it. Snowballs.
Yay, snowballs.
Yes, yay, snowballs. Just
Max
what I
Murphy
need.
gives a great reminder to those who have just subscribed to become Prime members, including Doc Holmes and Pinhead Larry. I'm sure Gauntlegrim knows how to do it. If you guys head over to our Discord, the link has been posted to chat a number of times, and I'll post it over to YouTube again. If you go to Discord and you have your YouTube and or Twitch account linked to Discord, it will automatically give you the roles so you can see the members only forums. And the best part about it is that tomorrow Doc's going to be recording his next episode, and every Friday, well, some Friday afternoons, especially here in December, Doc is there with a live stream, recording new episodes and shorts and stuff.
And just hanging out with members.
And hanging out with you guys. So,
Okay. So, I'm just trying to... Oh, that's right. I've got to drop off some alien remains and make them into coupons. And...
Zach says, I've heard of Hook, but I haven't seen it.
Oh, you've got to see it. It's just a hoot. It's really, really funny. It's Robin Williams at his best. Literally.
Mm-hmm.
And those of you who are too young to have enjoyed Robin Williams from his beginning on Mork and Mindy to his later work, gosh, he was just He was awesome.
I would also argue that Dustin Hoffman puts together an incredible performance as Spook himself too.
Yeah, oh yeah. You get Dustin Hoffman and Robin Williams on the same set. I can imagine the number of retakes they took because they couldn't stop laughing because they'd cut up so much.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was crazy.
Dustin Hoffman plays an excellent, very serious character, but when he wants to be a little more lighthearted and goofy, it's wonderful.
Mm-hmm. I want my war.
Oh man, it's been way too long since seeing that movie.
Yeah, we gotta go get that one. Okay, I came here to do my hard drive.
I hate it when I can't place a conveyor on the underside of a building because the conveyor wants to connect to the building on top of the foundation.
Oh no. Oh
And
no.
I can't nudge it into place either.
I'm gonna have to fight Galmagrim.
Uh-oh.
He says, it's the best rendition of Peter Pan, in my opinion. Agreed. But my favorite Robin Williams movie is, without a doubt, Patch Adams, followed by Dead Poets Society.
Oh, I liked him in Dead Poets Society. I haven't watched Patch Adams.
And Shmi is the true gem of that movie. Agreed. Shmi is amazing.
Yeah,
I
Shmi is good.
hate Dead Poets Society.
Really?
Oh, I hate it. It is pinnacle of boomer slop. It is the worst movie ever made. No, not really. It's a wonderful feel-good movie wherein you take young men at the moment in which they have already got themselves to a prestigious school. They're already on the precipice of entering adulthood with all the tools they need to be successful. And you know what he does? He gets in there with a knife and says, no, ignore all civilization, ignore everything that's been built before you, throw it all away because you know better than them, you're strong and smart and beautiful all on your own, and ruins them.
Okay.
Fight
It was
me
a
on
feel-good movie, and I felt good after watching it. Obviously, Robert didn't.
that. Okay, I'll give you on that one. I love Robin Williams, though. Love him to death.
What?
Goldberg says, I'm a Florida man without any medication. This is not a fight you win, sir. Okay.
And somebody mentioned Mrs. Doubtfire.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Also a fun movie.
yeah, it was a fun movie. Just because he wanted to see his kids.
Yeah. It was a fun, sad movie. But
Okay. Ah, there's another coal mine. And the second coal mine. Okay. So many resources, so little time.
okay, so Donald has responded, and he's actually doing so in a measured tone, unlike me. He says, I believe you're being a bit pedantic about Dead Poets Society. Part of the movie is about teaching young men that they don't have to bow to the system, and when the system is wrong, even if you're going to lose, standing up to fight for what's right, or what you believe in, is not wrong. Despite complicated circumstances, it's a very poetic look at the nature of life. It's sad, which makes it so beautiful. That lesson is a valuable one, and it's a good one. I think as a university instructor, for these students at that time, it was a misplaced one. I think it's the same thing like, learning about slavery in the United States is a good thing for students to learn. Learning about, the bad and negative parts of history is a good thing to learn. But learning why you know, and for us Americans at least, why our country is special, why it's good comes first. Then you learn, here's the places that we could have been better. And when just the counter argument happens first, when just the system's wrong, fight the system, what you do is you raise revolutionaries instead of raising patriots first. And so first you raise the patriot, and then teach the patriot it's not about adherence to the system of the country, it's adherence to the country itself. You know? So it's an order of operations, and setting it entirely at a university where these students are there to learn, and then telling them, oh no, you're not here to learn, you're here to fight the power, always struck me very wrong. But I definitely accept your argument.
Robert tends to see movies more as a critique than a just entertainment. So you got to forgive him. Can we forgive you?
You know what, Doc? I think you're right. Movies, I definitely see movies more as a critique than anything. Yeah.
Okay, so for the blender to make the encased uranium cell, we need the concrete. Ah, got it. I needed to bring concrete with me, and I didn't. I didn't go get the concrete. I'm going to go ahead and lay down the blenders with the two. So blenders, okay, let me lay down a blender so I can get the numbers. Somebody reminded me that they don't take... There's the blender. They don't take the full amount of... So let's start a blender array. Let's jog it back just a little bit.
One Metal Fist said, Robin Williams is one of my all-time favorites. His genie in Aladdin was absolutely iconic. The best version, no question. Mm-hmm. And I loved him so much in Miss Doubtfire also.
And then what I don't like, though, is that it seems like they've made Robin Williams just disappear. You don't see his rendition of Hook being offered to you as a kid's movie that you'd enjoy. I mean, maybe that's lessened a little bit, but it seemed like right after his death that he just disappeared off of places that would normally just show his movies all the time. I don't know, maybe that's just my thought on that, but...
I hope not. He was great. I mean, after a while, you know, I mean, Hook is an old movie now, but...
Okay, so a fully overclocked one here takes 125 uranium per minute and would take 100 sulfuric acid. So if I've got 600, I only need 6 machines to do full capacity on what it is. 6 machines, that'll give me 62.5 times 6. But I'm going to use up all my sulfuric acid in just 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've already put out 6.
By the way, Gurem says that your use of hypertubes, it's probably the first time he's ever seen someone use it appropriately instead of just as a cannon.
Oh, really? Okay. Use it for transportation? I thought they were always just used for transportation.
Thorstone, you asked a good question there, but I think there's a typo that makes it hard to understand. If you could expound on that just a little bit, I'm sure Doc would love to give you a good answer. So, Gone Grim responds. He says, talk about slavery. Look at the many founding fathers who pointed about how it would tear the country apart, but then went ahead with it anyways because they were trying to build something greater and had to accept an evil they couldn't change at the time to work on building something better.
Yeah.
Sacrifices have to be made for the greater good. It doesn't mean you're not a patriot for pointing out something you love is doing something bad. Which, again, is the heart of Dead Poets Society. Not saying the institution's bad, but there are some aspects that should be changed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And, go ahead.
So I think that the part of the issue is that the role of colleges changed They went from being a place for scholars to meet to discuss and learn about deep philosophies about the world to a place for vocational training. And those two are very, very different things. And when you're getting somebody ready for vocational training, telling them that the system is broken is one of the worst things that you can do to them.
I'm looking it up now. It's a prep boarding school, so we're talking about high school here.
Oh, then it's even worse.
A prep school?
Yeah.
It's what he... Okay.
So, but Dead Poet Society is having at Welton Academy, a fictional elite boys prep school.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
16 to 18.
So,
basically.
6 of them gets rid of the 100, and the byproduct out of each one of these is going to give me 25 per machine. 25... Oh, gosh. You get 25 output per machine. You route it back in. You make more machine, and you add those machines. Then you're adding 25 per machine you add. And every time you add a machine...
Yeah. So
currently I've got 6 times 25 equals 150 new output. 150 divided by the Okay, 150 divided by the 100, so I can make 1.5 machines. But then adding 2 more machines routes back 50 more. So I can add the 3rd machine. I can add 2 machines. So now, if I add 2 machines... Okay. I had 2 machines. Now I have 8. Now I have 8. 8 times 25 equals 200.
Mm-hmm.
And then 8 times the 40 equals...
It's Galaxy says, may I ask, what is this mod called and where did you get it from? Where you build foundations that you can not only build a single Zoop line, but rather make it a whole floor in other shapes.
It's called Infinite Zoop. So instead of just doing 10 items out straight, like walls and floors and windows and roof pieces, the Infinite Zoop allows you to go 2-dimensional. So when I'm doing one of these, I can go out 2 dimensions like that. That's infinite Zoop. Okay.
And you get it on Satisfactory Mod Manager, just like all your other mods.
Yep.
Now, if you're on console, I'm sorry, it won't work for you, but...
800? Okay. So, Robert,
yes,
the
sir.
numbers work. I build 8 of these. They require 800. And the byproduct for 8 of them is 200 plus the 600 I'm getting here. Perfect. Was that too fast for you?
What are you asking for?
I'm telling you that building 8 of them makes the numbers work out perfectly because 8 of them require 800. I get 600 from the refineries, and I get an additional 200 from the byproduct.
Sounds perfect. So make sure with those 8, you leave a couple of them turned off at first. Right? When you go to boot everything up?
Until the pipes fill.
Uh-huh.
And then start letting them flush out into the others. Okay, I can do that. Mm-hmm. Okay, I need a little bit more space over
Donald
here.
Grimm says, it's been a very long time since I've watched Dead Poet Society. The student who ended himself was because his father was going to disown him for following his passion of acting, And Robin Williams' character was being punished, fired for teaching his students to follow their passions. And the scene at the end was protesting it, if I'm not mistaken. Well, he should have been fired. I'm sorry, but if you're pushing a student to do something that's going to get him disowned by his family, there's a serious issue there.
Oh, you think? You think so?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I do.
It's more than, he wasn't fired specifically for the student. He was fired for the entire curriculum he was teaching. He specifically had all the kids take old books from the library, dancing on the tables, ripping them apart, and throwing them in the air. Right? Like, he was, behavior-wise, not acting like a teacher. But, symbolically, one thing that happens when we critique movies is we take the movie as it is, the setting, that everything that happened, and we say, well, what they did was correct because look at what the world was like. Yeah, but the authors created the world. People who wrote Dead Poet Society wrote the world that this kid's father was going to disown him. They decided that this world that existed was so unfair that the dad was going to disown his child for pursuing acting. And they made that conscious decision. So they decided in this world that the system is so bad that a father will disown his child for pursuing acting. So the world sets as its premise for existence is that people who want this order that exists will disown you for wanting to do something different. And so, and again, I'm not against the idea of people pursuing their own passions, not against any of it. It just, that's how the story struck me of, yeah.
Of just being wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we can move on to a different subject.
Sure. And yeah, I'll take absolutely everything that Gonogram has said and accept it entirely.
Yeah. And as a final comment, there are some truths that are good for you to learn at some times. Some truths that are bad for you and will trip you up if you learn them at the wrong time.
Okay. We can definitely move on.
Mm-hmm.
It worked first try, Doc. It worked first try.
What did?
Implementing
blueprint?
our super goofy lift thing on a different set of machines.
A super goofy lift, huh? What is wrong with the stream on... Okay, now it cleared up. Gosh. I looked over at the Twitch stream and it was just fuzzy and fuzzier than fuzzy.
Here, Doc, I'll show it on my screen real quick.
Stream?
Robert, you don't have enough power lines in your factory.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Like, and I just did a test and we see iron ingots.
Okay.
So, this is what Doc designed the other day and I was trying to re-implement it.
And what's weird about it is that they're both inward rather than...
Both of yours were on the outside, yeah.
Robert, you don't have enough power lines in your factory.
I have
Then
power
make more
lines
power
across
lines.
the edge of all... What are you talking about?
I'm constantly falling down trying to do the I/O.
You can't fly. That's why you've got not enough power lines. Oh.
There's power across the entire bottom.
No, there's not.
Every single one of these machines
Every
is power.
single one of these machines is completely full. Yeah, and you've got this entire section over here that has no power.
Yelling. Stop yelling.
Yeah, because there's no machines there yet.
Okay, where can I find an empty power outlet?
Along the walls. The walls have power. I strung power across all the walls.
That outlet has 0 of 7 connections.
Gonogram says, Doc needs to shave.
Do I?
He's embracing his inner hippie.
He does not need to shave.
I'm embracing my inner Santa.
Yes.
That's fine.
Doc
For
is
you
looking
guys,
better every day.
for you guys that don't want me to have a Santa beard, I'll shave before the new year comes.
I'm sorry. World War II is over. We don't need to wear gas masks anymore. It's good. You can have a beard. It's fine. Colgrim says he hasn't even done a single ho ho ho.
Ho, ho, ho. Oh, Robert, I'm going to get to the end of the stream, and I'm not going to have power to you guys yet.
You're right. Colgrim says you could do better than that. Deeper, more merry.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
Oh, that's a lot better.
That was
That's
much better. Good job. Good job.
Okay. Okay, good.
Oh. Zitz Galaxy asked, can you still unlock achievements if you have mods installed? And do my friends need mods that I installed too if we want to play together?
Yes, yes, and yes.
You can get achievements if you have mods.
I think if you play advanced, you can't. If you turn on advanced mode cheats.
Uh-huh.
But I believe if you use mods, you still get the achievements.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yes. Turning on advanced mode disables cheats. Or disables achievements. Which is the reason why I've been getting achievements lately.
Because you have not been working advanced mode, right?
Right.
Wow.
There are some games that I care about achievements. Some games, like Satisfactory, that I just don't.
Spencer Bright says, keep the beard. I'm growing my beard for the first time in 8 years.
Okay. I'm getting my beard for the first time in 30 years.
Yep. And guys, when I said the World War II thing, that's just a historical thing. Men's fashion always had beards. In World War II, due to the use of gases, beards
and gas masks.
Yeah, because of them needing gas masks, beards went completely out of fashion, and it really hasn't recovered until fairly recently. In fact, for Doc's generation, having a lot of facial hair usually meant you were scruffy, meant you were unkempt and whatever, right?
Yeah, basically.
So, and then unfortunately for our generation, the hipsters decided to take the beard over, and well, we're finally recovering for its reputation lost there too.
But even with all of that, an old man with a good beard is still has more moral authority than an old man without a good beard.
More moral authority, Doc. You become more moral, more upright.
Okay.
Governor says, but Doc's hair is below his ears. Very hippie.
I don't think so. Okay.
First time chat from Scarlett. Hi, Doc. Just wanted to say thank you so much for the clips and videos you've made. They've been really helpful in getting me onboarded on Satisfactory.
Cool.
And my experience a lot smoother.
Fantastic. Glad you joined us to just to tell us that. Tell everybody that. Appreciate that. All right. I've turned off the other two machines here. Although these pipes are going to be full before I start. Anyway, do I really need to have them off? Because all of the refineries are going full tilt, filling up these pipes. So you think in that case that I could just turn them all on? Okay, not getting an answer.
Sorry, I was reading chat.
Okay. Since all the pipes are going to be full before I start, because I've still got to get concrete delivered out here, do you think I could just start it up when I get the concrete and uranium plugged in?
Sure.
Okay.
You may have to, after you get everything running, flush the whole system of sulfuric acid because it may have too much something.
Yeah, it may have too much in the for the outport to actually outport it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it does have an internal storage for the out. for a bit. So hopefully that'll help.
Yeah, hopefully. Okay. Because see, if not all of them are running, not all of them output. Okay, it'll be an interesting balancing act. Okay, so uranium. Oh. Stop it, Robert. Gosh.
Mark says that I need to rub hydrogen peroxide into your beard to dye it white.
Ah.
No, I like the salt and pepper. I think it looks great.
Have I mentioned that I'm jealous of Doc's beard?
No.
Because I'm
didn't.
very jealous of Doc's beard.
Why?
Because it looks good.
Oh.
One Metal Fist says it's not entirely accurate everywhere, what I said about having a beard. But for much of history, from the Middle Ages through 18th and 19th century, being clean-shaven signaled wealth or status, because it meant you could afford a barber, or proper shaving tools, or even have a servant shave you. Sure. Yeah, and Donald's correct. It entirely depends on culture. I'm making sweeping generalizations when I said that. If you look at most adult male photo images and portraits and stuff in the United States pre-World War II, and you even look at the military members during World War I, having a beard was much, it was prevalent, was the vast majority at that space in that time. In World War II, it died because of gas masks. And it died very quickly. When you came home from World War II, every man coming off the boat was clean shaven.
Mm-hmm. And that has a huge... When you see your heroes walking off the boat clean shaven, it makes a very particular idea in people's heads.
Yep.
Of what a hero, of what a good man should look like.
Zach says, Garrett, I thought you had a beard.
I do have a beard. It's just not as good as Doc's.
Agreed.
Thank you.
I mean,
there's nothing else you could really say, but still. Now I gotta go find the Alclad aluminum sheets.
the hologram says there are images of pharaohs wearing false beards. And Garrett has a stubble.
No, I got better than that. I even had to trim my beard recently. But
Well, okay, one could define beard as actually growing it to a length, right? But
Okay, there we go. Now I've got, magnetic control rods going there. Now I've just got to go deal with my cement issue, concrete issue.
Elwood Jar says, in World War II, Ireland stayed neutral because the soldiers wanted Guinness. It's Galaxy says, may I ask again, advanced mods? How do I have to understand that? What difference is there and how does the game know? So it's not advanced mods. That's a...
let's have this in Doc University.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's...
Okay, so Blackthorn asks...
Well, no, this is...
No? Okay. So, it's Galaxy asks, may I ask again, advanced mods? Okay. How do I have to understand that? What is the difference and how does the game know what type of mods I used? Okay. What happened was you mistook a statement we made, advanced mode versus mods. There are no such thing as advanced mods. Advanced mode you find when you hit escape and you go to your options and you choose to go to manage sessions.
You can't do it from inside the game.
I can't do it from inside the game. I've got to.
You do it
Well,
on
I
setup.
can't exit. You have to do it on entrance to the game. There's options when you start a game. You go to load game, and when you choose a game to load, there's an option that it gives you down here to use advanced settings. If you don't use advanced settings down here when you're loading a game, you don't have to worry about whether or not you're going to get the advancement awards. Okay, it's a problem only when you are, how do I say it? Only when you're using advanced mode instead of advanced. There's no such thing as advanced mods. There's either mods or there's advanced mode. Advanced mode lets you choose certain things like being able to fly all the time, whether you have a jetpack or not, or a hover pack or not. You fly all the time. You can choose to have the ability to build without it costing anything. In other words, you just willy-nilly build anything you want without having an inventory or having a dimensional depot or any place you're getting the materials. Materials just magically appear. There's several items there that are game breakers. In other words, if you want to build a set, like Robert a lot of times will build a set to illustrate the things that I say in shorts or in long form videos so that he can illustrate. Well, he doesn't want to take time to go mine all the products and build all the things. He just builds the set, and he uses advanced mode to do that, and then operates the set, and then he destroys it. He's got his own world that he does that in. That's where you would use that kind of thing if you were in my kind of world, or if you just want to play in creative mode, kind of like in Minecraft. They have the creative mode where you can just build anything. It's kind of like creative mode for Satisfactory. You can just literally build anything you want. So that's what advanced mode is in difference from mods. Okay. Hopefully that helps, and let's get back to the game.
There we go. And thank you for asking again. Sometimes comments get a little lost in the conversation, especially when I'm arguing with Donald Graham over movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, first time chat from Pesca Carpus, who says, like a creative mode.
Yep. Like creative mode.
Exactly.
Okay, so the output buffer does not fill up by having pipes filled out here. So good. Yeah, I think I could just turn them on when I get the last product in here. So I've got the what did I do?
What did
I do?
What's going on?
It wasn't supposed to get electromagnetic control rods. Bozo. Jerk. I am so dumb sometimes. Which means you gotta destroy all of your infrastructure. Thank goodness the machines won't take something that it's not got the recipe to take, so don't have to worry about that, but I have to destroy all of the other infrastructure that I just made. I hate making mistakes. They are so time consuming.
Zitz, you got it correct, exactly. Advanced mode disables achievements. Everything else is perfectly fine. Any mods you have, your friends also have to have in order to join you.
Yep. That answered a multitude of questions all at once, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. And every time the mod updates, you and your friends will spend hours raging at each other trying to figure out which person got updated and when and what version you're on, and haven't helped you ever install it on a server.
Robert's got kind of a negative attitude toward mods right now, so because he's been fussing with them,
Oh,
and they've made him
man.
very frustrated.
They have caused so many issues recently.
And the neat part about it is I just let him fix it, you know. Then I don't have to worry about it.
I wonder why he's been frustrated with it.
Okay, now...
Scorpio says Doc probably needs a temporary fluid buffer to resolve the sulfuric acid byproduct. He will need to ultimately throttle his new sulfuric production to make the system balanced.
Okay. I may need to do that.
Buffer would work. Fleshing the line, I think, works too.
I'm probably going to need another one of the... Yeah, I'm going to probably need concrete to come by drone as well.
You know, Doc, it took the two of us working together to
build the last nuclear power plant.
To build the last nuclear plant, and we worked on it for 5 days straight.
Yeah.
4-hour days, so 40 hours of work to get it to work.
Thank goodness this won't take as long.
Yeah, you're only doing the first stage, but you're also working a whole lot faster than we did before.
Yep, that's true too.
So.
Okay, I need to put a drone on this one.
Output is almost done. Just so many belts. Now, I do have a question. The output on these bows,
the output
do
on
they
these bows.
do they each fill a full belt?
Oh, don't ask me to do that math again. Let me check. No, they don't. In fact, they come out at an odd number. We're gonna have to have a compressor on all those. Well, actually, for now, just
I wish I'd known that before.
yeah. Don't bother compressing them. Because it says, and by the way, the explanation you just gave me was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I had to giggle a little bit because I didn't expect something like Doc University. That's what it's called, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And I've got a whole playlist that has Doc University videos in it that are specifically focused on getting specific knowledge, like your first coal power plant, and I can't remember all the topics, but what do we have, about 5 or 6 videos in there now?
Yep.
So
what we do whenever we're on a live stream, we get a technical question like that. We pop into that overlay specifically so we can make it easy to clip later. So we can clip and repost an answer to commonly asked questions like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Gologram says the real question is whether or not the university is accredited.
I don't think that's a real question now at all.
The nice thing is it is accredited by itself.
Yep. I've accredited it.
Yep, the Doc Accreditation Association accredited the Doc University. It's perfect.
And you can even buy a t-shirt. In the broken link at the bottom of the page.
I removed it.
You removed it.
There is a link, but not that stupid carousel that was busted. Nova Fire says, "Morning, brother. Thanks for all the shorts to help all of us addicted to the drug that is Satisfactory."
Yes. You're very, very welcome. If you're going to have an addiction, it's got to be a good one.
Zach redeemed Cat.
Cat is sleeping over on the back of the couch.
Ooh. Do not wake a sleeping cat.
Yeah, he's got work to do at night, so he sleeps during the day. Oh boy, oh boy.
Well, Doc, guess
Yep.
what?
Time?
It's about that time. Isn't
darn
that
it.
crazy?
Yeah.
It's been a very quick stream.
Very quick. Had a whole boatload of fun. So yeah, let's go back to the office, and I'll just make sure I don't fall off the trolley here. Okay, very good. Okay, One Metal Fist says a question that came to mind. For someone who worked at Boeing, how closely did you work with spacecraft or space-related projects? Planning to study materials engineering, want to work on aircraft or space vehicles. Understand aviation can be a path to space, but I'd like to know how materials engineers actually reach space-related work through companies like Boeing. No, I did not actually work with space-related materials. Space was either in Houston or in the Long Beach area of California, and so I really didn't get involved much. There was Huntington Beach also in not Huntington Beach, Huntsville, Alabama also was another location that had space related work. I was always in St. Louis or Seattle. I worked in Boeing Commercial in St. Louis. I worked in Boeing Military in St. Louis. So, with that kind of thing, that's Britta's. Okay.
The picture was blue.
That's another box.
No.
It was back like this, but had a
I'm
blue.
sorry, just chatting with Mama Doc for a sec.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, we'll be done in 10 minutes. You're right. Okay, so what you do in Boeing then is you get involved with Boeing and you apply for jobs, and finally you work your way into other jobs. You might, try with an entry-level engineering position, and then you can work slowly on getting into more advanced groups, black box work, in other words, government secret programs, and you can get, apply for Houston to get into NASA. You can do all of those kind of things, but generally the space is pretty elite. I don't know whether they hire directly. I'd try still. It does require some relocation if you're not in one of those places like, Huntsville, Alabama, or Long Beach, California, or Houston for NASA. You'd have to relocate, but that's how you'd get into that. Okay.
Can I show you something super weird that's happening?
What's that?
I'm sorry. This has happened twice now.
Uh-huh.
I'm working on this Foundry blueprint.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to build a second layer over it. So, I build up a few.
Some walls.
I build up a few walls. I'm going to build a new platform, whatever. And then after I build the platform, it's like, okay, now it's time to pull up the blueprint of the Foundry. Excuse me?
Pull it up.
I wanted to build it.
And it rebuilt it.
Uh-huh. I'm opening up my build menu. Okay? Look,
Uh-huh.
I'm building walls. And when I want to pull up a blueprint, it rebuilds the blueprint. What?
I've never seen that happen.
Formie says he said that problem. Reload typically solves it.
Interesting.
Weird.
That is weird.
Okay.
For me, thank you for that answer. Okay, so thank you for another fantastic stream. Doc, the PhD tutorialist, Robert, the AKA the AICC, and not forgetting Pinky Preacher Man. It's been streamingly epic. So with that, be good, be kind, and most of all, stay safe. Appreciate that, Mark. I appreciate that a lot. So somebody commented, so one more stream for Christmas. Yes, we will have a Monday stream. It'll be the full 8 hours, and yes, that'll be before Christmas. And then we'll have the release of the long form video that'll be specifically Christmas related. That'll drop on Christmas. So
I might be able to get it out on Christmas Eve if Doc's okay with that.
maybe.
Garrett, what are you doing to my map?
So John B said he had that happen before. Just disassembled the blueprint maker.
Okay, I'll give that a shot.
Okay. Before you have to totally reload, that might be.
Robert, what are you talking about?
Garrett's covering my build space with poles right in the middle of my build area.
Oh, yeah, I need that to fly.
Put it underground!
Then it'd be in the way of me building, Robert.
So you put it in the way of me building! Sorry, we'll shut up. Let you talk.
Okay, fine. I need to go look up the Y files again and get it coming on my feed again, because that's the end of the Y files videos. So it makes me remember the good things that I saw there. The fantastic to the stupid to the weird to the everything. So
What is our stream schedule for Christmas?
our stream schedule for Christmas is that I'm taking the day off for Christmas. Probably will not take Christmas Eve off, at least much. At least not all of it. But anyway, it all depends on what Mama Doc has planned. If she doesn't have anything planned for me, I'm just gonna go hide in the office. So you know how that goes. So generally we're gonna do it on stream on Monday, release Q&A videos all along the week. We've got regular tips coming out on Saturdays, and then the big video on Thursday. So it'll be great. So until next Monday. Oh, by the way, Friday, any members or subscribers on Twitch can come and hang out with us tomorrow when we do videos and recording. You'll see what that get a kind of a preview of what that Christmas video might look like.
You're going to enjoy it.
And
you really will.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. So we'll see you until either one of those 2 days. And by the way, if you don't come see us on Friday, have a great weekend and come hang out again on Monday. We'll look forward to seeing you then. Bye-bye.